WHF Wayne's
is Sports Center.
I'm Christine Lisi. Police in Tennessee conducted a welfare check on Grizzlies star John Morant today following cryptic messages on his Instagram story account. Officials told TMZ Morant's fine. He's just taking a break from social media. He was suspended from all team activities after a video of him holding a gun circulated on social media May 13th. Panthers captain Alexander Barkov returns from a lower body injury tonight. Game 4 NHL East Final against Carolina. Florida's top line getting a major boost. Barkov 16 points in 15 games this postseason. Also clutch on faceoffs. Hockey Hall of Famer and ESPN NHL analyst Chris Chelios.
He does everything great. He's a solid centerman, offensively, defensively. The captain, the leader, and he does it all. And you need depth, and he's part of that depth and a very important part of it. But it's good news for Florida that he's back. Bad for Carolina.
Florida slight minus 115 favorite to win, complete the sweep and advance to the Stanley Cup final. The A's and state of Nevada reached a tentative deal on a stadium funding plan. A's have been looking for years for a home to replace the Coliseum.
How would you love a chance to save some money on car insurance? Geico can help. Switch today and see all the ways you could save with great rates and discounts. It's easy. Simply go to geico.com to get a rate quote and get started seeing how much you could save.
In the heart of Beer City, USA, two men, one journey to create a sports show unlike any other. Unfiltered, raw, and honest. One of them played a soccer goalie opposite Ben Stiller. The other once scored 6 points on Steph Curry. These guys know their shit.
Let's go!
Tank Spencer, Jeremy Green, The Sportsocracy. Presented by Ingles Supermarkets. Low prices, love the savings.
And welcome into the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville. 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. A happy Wednesday to you all. Don't forget, you can hear us everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. See us live here in the Ingles studio on YouTube each and every day. Interact in the chat as well. How do you do that? Well, you got to go to thesportsocracy.com. You got to click the live video link, and then you got to subscribe to the channel because the chat only for subscribers. Join the almost 4,000 people. Like, what is this? Well, like, we hit the 4,000. We hit like 4.98, and now we're stuck.
And now we're just sitting here like, do we have
friends?
friends?
Encourage all your friends to join. We want to hit that 4,000 subscribers mark on the YouTubes. But anyway, welcome into a Wednesday program here where all the talk around the sports world is all about
the Boston Celtics.
Yeah.
Doing exactly what I told you they were going to do last night.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't have been more accurate if I tried.
It's the first time in history.
Except I did think the Heat were going to win. So I said they're going to show some fight. That would have been more accurate if I'd have said, well, they're actually going to win. And
well, I mean,
now
you saw a good Boston Celtics team show up.
But they're not winning 4 games in a row.
No, they're not winning.
Well, I've heard this all day long. From like really smart people. Mike Greenberg, Dan Patrick. I'm calling it now. The Celtics are winning in 7. Okay. Let me digest that in the 2 layers that I want to. First is going to be from a fan side of please let this series go 7 games, because that means that next series is going to go 4, and they will not be particularly close. Because Denver will just sit at home and go, I don't care. You throw us whichever one you want. It's fine. Then I look at it from an analyst point of view and go, did you not watch the first 3 games? Dude, we're only locked into what we saw most recently, where the Celtics shot 51%, hit 18 threes, were 40% from 3. And you're telling me that that's replicable.
I mean, it is replicable.
4 times?
Not 4 times.
There you go.
Not 4 times
There
in a
it
row.
is.
They can do it again. They can make this a series. They could get another one, force a game 6. You know, I mean, there is that little thing that sticks in the back of your mind. Maybe they could do it.
There's nothing in the back of my mind saying
But
maybe they could do it. No team in
really,
NBA history has ever done it, and I'm looking at this one going, you're no different.
They push this to game 6 in Boston.
Game 6 would be in Miami. Game 7 would be in Boston.
Okay, so game 6
Game
goes
5,
to Miami.
Yeah, game 5. Well, no, I got that backwards. Game 6 is in Miami. Game 5 is in Boston. Game 7 would be in Boston.
Okay.
So now you're going back to Boston. I'm almost positive they're going to win Game 5. They're an 8-point favorite in the early line, which is absurd. But I don't care. Mm-hmm. I still think Miami's the better team. I still have years of Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown to lean on.
That. I don't
Based
know.
off what?
I don't know that I agree that Miami's the better team. I mean, do they have the better coach? Yes.
No doubt.
Aside from that, I mean, they don't even have the best player on the floor, in my opinion.
I'm going to disagree with you there.
Jimmy Butler, you got him ahead of Jason Tatum.
In the pantheon of all-time NBA players, you got Michael Jordan, playoff Jimmy Butler, LeBron James. So, yeah, I'm going to say I think Miami's going to be just
Jimmy
fine.
Butler's great. Jimmy Butler is a great player.
This is the stupidest thing that we do. It is the dumbest thing as sports fans, as sports commentators, as people in sports. This is the dumbest thing that we do. You had 3 games to see every deficiency for Boston. Mm-hmm. With your back against the wall, you came out and threw haymakers. And you landed some. Good for you. I didn't forget what you did in the first 3 games. This series wasn't close.
But the question is this the turning point? Is this the Boston Celtics now finally figuring something out? Oh, yeah, sure. They figured something out on defense.
Yeah, if we lose, we're going home. That's what they figured out.
They were switching a lot on defense. They were doing all the X's and O's stuff. It was great. Joe Mazzulla had apparently a great game as a coach.
A great West Virginia feller.
Awesome.
Of course he did. We tend to rise to the occasion. Let's go.
They win 116-99. I mean, is the better shooting replicable? Yes, because I mean, actually, their 3-point shooting was more closer to 40% during the regular season than it was what they've been shooting in these playoffs or in the beginning of the series. So yeah, I feel like this is more regular season Boston Celtics that we've seen. But do I expect them to be able to do it 4 times in a row? No.
So you think Al Horford can be plus 23 again?
No.
You think Derek White can throw a 16 and
for a game, for another game,
a 16 triple single? I've just listened to it all day, going, I don't really understand what. You have amnesia. You can only remember things that you've seen within the last 24 hours. And for me, it's still the Heat series to lose. I expect them to lose Game 5. Yes, I agree with Stephen A. Smith. That means going into Game 6 and all the pressure's on them.
Yep.
Boston has shown the fight, so all the Joe Mazzulla's going to get fired talk. We'll stop that.
I mean, it's been waiting for a moment. They come out and get
Joe
spanked
Mazzulla's
by
not getting fired,
25 on
period.
his home floor.
Joe Mazzulla's not getting fired, period.
Probably not.
Let me give you 3 reasons off the top of my head for that. 1, Brad Stevens is way more loyal than that. 2, Joe Mazzulla has followed him around like a smallish child and has had many opportunities to get away from him, never did. And this is the last tie to Ime Udoka. So what are you going to replace him with? All right, let's say they come out and get slaughtered in Game 5. So you're telling me everything I've ever seen out of Brad Stevens just goes out the window. He's going to fire this guy that he believes in exponentially more than probably anybody on this planet that's not a family member of his does. And he's just going to let that guy go because, we didn't show the effort in the Eastern Conference Finals. You had to get here. At some point, the NBA has to just stop being dumb. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you...
But I don't think it's ever going to. I mean, I don't know that it's ever going to. Because Boston, fully healthy, they're guaranteed to be in the Final Four.
They're not guaranteed to be in the Final Four. There's still good teams in the East. If Milwaukee was fully healthy and Philadelphia had gotten anything from James Harden, they wouldn't be here. Nobody's guaranteed to be in the Final Four of anything. You got to win 2 7-game series.
How about that? Fully healthy, this tandem for the Boston Celtics has never not been in the Final Four. It's like, 3 out of the last 4 years? The one year they didn't make it was because Jaylen Brown was hurt. That's what I'm saying, is that you're here. You get spanked in Game 5. I'm not saying Joe Mazzulla is going to lose his job. I'm going to say that's going to be the screaming from the rooftops will be.
And it shouldn't be. Look around the NBA right now.
I'm not saying you're wrong.
Finalists for the Phoenix Suns job. Have you seen this story?
Was that the
4.
Kenny Atkinson?
No. That's in Milwaukee.
Oh, okay.
Finalists for the Suns job. Just take a guess at who you think they could possibly be.
Oh, Lord.
Nick Nurse.
Okay.
Doc Rivers.
Mm-hmm.
A guy on the staff. And then another, I don't even remember.
Adrian Griffin, maybe. His name gets thrown out for a lot of jobs.
And then he never gets hired. Finalists in Milwaukee. Kenny Atkinson, Nick
Adrian
Nurse. We just do this in a cycle and weird. I watched the entire game last night going, I know exactly how this is going to go, and I have not been let down at all today.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Boston, we're coming back. No, you're not. Then they lose, and, well, Joe Mazzulla should be fired. Will you make up your mind? Is this team that great, and he's a good enough coach, or are you going to fire him? Because in 24 hours, this entire narrative has changed.
Absolutely.
And frankly, it's making my head hurt. Pick a lane.
The only thing you have.
And stop reacting to the most recent thing you've seen.
It's the only thing you have. I mean, are we really expected as a sports media populace to continue to talk about the 2023 NBA champion Denver Nuggets?
Oh, I mean, I would like us just to talk.
playing?
I would like us to talk about them at some point. Yeah, because we were talking about this
Hell,
series.
that's all we talked about yesterday. I give us credit. We didn't bring up the story that everybody focused on from the Lakers Nuggets sweep.
You know why?
Because we don't
Names
care.
on the door.
Exactly.
Because I wasn't about to let that happen.
No, absolutely not. And we did it for a very specific reason. Not once did we mention LeBron James and his, is he going to retire? Because that's not the story. To me, because we all know where that's going, right?
No, it's a power play.
Right.
It's a power play to get what he wants.
Oh, look at me.
Well, there's that too. And we'll get to that later in the show.
You're right.
Because today we do actually have to talk about it because, well, the Nuggets are just sitting at home waiting on who their opponent could be.
Just waiting, but the Boston Celtics won 116-99 over the Miami Heat in Game 4 of the Eastern Conference Finals. It's now 3-1. Miami trying to close it out, and everybody wants to immediately jump to, oh, my God, is this going to be the time that we see somebody in the NBA come back from 0-3 down? No. This is Boston's last gasp. This is them showing you that
they did have a little fight.
They're not completely the speed bump that they had been in the first 3 games.
And Andreas Pinckney in our YouTube chat has a really good point. They're 4-5 at home in the playoffs, so it's no given they're going to win Game 5.
Absolutely.
They could still get gentlemen swept, and then, that was a fun 2 days where you all – I'm calling my shot now. I've heard that from 4 of the biggest media pundits in this country today. And I cannot wait for Friday when you go, well, I was drunk. I was drunk on Wednesday, so you can't hold that against me. Well, it's still Miami series to win.
Everybody wants to be spicy. Everybody wants to be ahead of the curve. The problem is the spicy take here is that, of course, the Boston Celtics do the thing that no one has ever done before. Think about it. Is that this team? If you're a logical NBA fan, are you looking at this team of Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown and going, yeah, that's the team that's going to set the mark? That's the team that's going to make history.
No, I mean, I will tell you, and I'll say the same thing I said yesterday. As a fan of the team that is sitting back waiting for the winner of this series, you bring me Boston all day. I have no fear whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
Miami, I have a little fear. I do not like how this lines up. I do not like having Eric Spoelstra on the opposite end of Mike Malone. And I like Joe Mazzulla. But if you're telling me I get to choose how this goes, yeah, let's go 7 and bring me Boston.
Mm-hmm. But you got to be rooting for Boston, at least for a little bit. I mean, even if there's no possibility, which I don't think there's much of a possibility, that they'll win this series, you want that series to go as long as possible.
As a fan of the Nuggets, yes,
right.
I do.
That's what I'm saying.
I want to see this go 7 games at all, if at all possible.
Yeah, I want to see Jimmy Butler just tired, dragging tail.
And I don't want any chance for them to just sit around and – I mean, look, you got 2 good defensive teams here. I don't want either one of them to have a great long time to scheme up Nikola Jokic and Murray. And not saying that you would come up with anything, but the less time you have, the happier I'm going to be. But last night, you showed some life. Good for you. You put up a fight in the spot that every team strives to get to. For me, that changes absolutely nothing.
Miami's still going to come away with the series win. They're
going
still
Miami in
heavily
6.
favored.
I'm going Miami in 6. I think they come back to Miami and beat them down there. Boston will win close in Game 5. Miami comes back to Miami and blows their doors off.
Mm-hmm.
Would be that would be my prognostication.
This is one I'm not comfortable making because I don't know. I don't know how many times they can pull it together. That Boston team that played last night, I can see them winning again fairly comfortably at home.
I'll put it this way. Here's
know.
how comfortable I am that Miami wins this series. I do a couple gambling segments that go into other markets. Well, it's a holiday weekend. I've already recorded Heat Nuggets. That's how convinced I am of this.
Hope that doesn't come back to bite you.
Well, if it does, I'll re-record it from home on, what is that, Monday? I don't think it's going to. So, and that's how confident I am.
Bold.
I went, let's go ahead and cross that off the list because I'm going to have to do that sometime in the next few days.
Yep, that is bold. Yes, the King tried to steal the headlines after he got swept out of the NBA playoffs by the Denver Nuggets in the Western Conference Finals. LeBron James, we'll talk about it coming up next. Will he retire? Won't he retire? That's next.
It's time to discover the convenience and time savings of contact-free pickup with Ingles Curbside. Just visit shop.ingles-markets.com or download the app. And your Ingles personal shopper gets to work with specialized training on how to select the freshest items for a pre-scheduled pickup. They'll even text you with updates. You pull up to a designated space and your personal shopper delivers your items right to your vehicle. Fresh, fast, and affordable. It's all in the bag. Ingles. Low prices. Love the savings.
Since man created roads, they've been looking for ways to get off-road and vehicles to take them there. That's where Outlaw Off-Road comes in. A premier off-road center for Jeeps, trucks, and SUVs with a complete lineup of off-road and overland services, including maintenance and repair to make your vehicle all that it can be. Check out their location right here in Western North Carolina at 85 Avery Creek Road. Call them today at 828-974-8480 or visit them on the web at theoutlawoffroad.com.
I believe real estate isn't about properties. It's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt-Zach with eXp Realty, serving all of Western North Carolina. Navigating the home buying and selling journey can feel overwhelming at times, and that's why having an agent who cares about you and your needs is key. I'm a native of Western North Carolina, and I close over a home a week. I'm an expert in the market, pricing my sellers correctly to net you the most money, and working as a skilled negotiator for my buyers. Please give me a call today at 828-774-6343 to set up a complimentary market analysis.
When you open your hopper, you don't fill it with just any hardwood pellets, right? You fill it with Kingsford 100% hardwood blend pellets. Made right here in the USA with North American ingredients and a 100% natural hardwood blend, Kingsford pellets can be used on any pellet grill and add delicious smoky flavor to any meal. Kingsford's the name you trust for the low and slow cooking you crave. So look for Kingsford 100% hardwood blend pellets. Kingsford.com.
I'm Martin Hoke, the inventor of Navage Nasal Care, and I love Navage. I've told you about how your nose is the body's air filter, that Navage's powered suction will help flush out allergens, viruses, mucus, and germs, and that Navage will help you breathe better. But what do other people say about Navage? Like Ricardo, quote, "This is one of the greatest inventions ever. I know this may sound like I'm exaggerating, but this sucker is amazing. The first time I did it, I couldn't believe what came out of my sinuses. I could breathe with ease. My wife just bought one too. Thank you for this product," unquote. He's one of over 100,000 online reviews praising Navage, the all-natural solution trusted by over 3 million people to help you breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and stay healthier without drugs. Navage is available at Walmart, CVS, Walgreens, Target, Rite Aid, and online. Navage, N-A-V-A-G-E, clean nose, healthy life.
Discover credit cards automatically double all the cash back you earn at the end of your first year, which means... Wait, hold up. Question for the audio engineer.
Go ahead.
Did I read that right? Discover automatically doubles all your cash back?
Yeah, that's what the script says.
So if I get a Discover card right now, I can earn twice the cash back.
Apparently. Wait! Unlimited first-year cash back match, only from Discover. See terms and learn more at
The Sportsocracy.
Pull up your pants, take off the bra, and be a man!
Welcome back into the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville. The Los Angeles Lakers got swept out of the Western Conference Finals by the
2023 NBA champion Denver Nuggets.
And after the game, of course, everybody gets around LeBron's locker and they start asking the questions of what's next. As he spent 20 seasons in the NBA and he's 38 years old, and we all know the end is coming very, very soon. And I don't know if it's pettiness or if it's brilliance or if it's both.
It's narcissism. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah, and I get it.
LeBron James is the most narcissistic star in the history of professional sports, and I don't really think it's all that close.
No, I mean, Michael takes the cake on that one, but LeBron's more whiny about it.
Would
LeBron's
Michael
more
have ever done this?
Complainy.
No doubt. Would he have ever done this? No.
I
The
don't
answer is
know.
no.
We never got to see it, so I don't know.
Now,
I don't
one time
know.
He
never
retired
got.
What, he retired in July one time?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that didn't take away anybody's thunder.
No.
Look, you can say what you want to about Michael, and I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm 100% watching that Air movie tonight.
Oh, it's great.
I've heard
You should watch it. It's great.
Is it true that Michael's basically just an ancillary
You
character?
never see him. You never see his face. You don't. Who played Michael Jordan? We don't know because we never saw his face. He never. All you heard was his voice on the other end of the phone, and every meeting that they had with Michael in it, you could see it was a guy. There was a guy in the jacket that he wore on like every Sports Illustrated cover when he was at Carolina, or in all of the spreads. He's wearing that leather jacket, and all you see is him from behind. Part of the story was that. And her name just went out of my head. His mother, I forget her name. I apologize. Anyway, the mom would not let Sonny Vaccaro talk to Michael until it was time, until the deal was done and it was all settled. And she was like, "Okay, now you can talk to Michael." And then you hear his voice on the other end of the phone. It's the very end of the movie. It's a great movie, though. I think you'll really dig it.
I think I'm going to watch that. Watch that tonight.
But I don't know. I don't know.
Well, the stupidest
we never
thing
had
he
this
said,
scenario with Michael, but I feel like he wouldn't.
The dumbest thing that LeBron said was, "I'm still better than 90% of the NBA." No, I did the math. You're better than 98% of the NBA.
Okay, I was going to say,
right,
if you're going lower, I'm going to have to challenge
You're still a top 10 player. I mean, you realize where 90 would put him? There's 450 active players in the NBA. That'd put him at 45.
Yes.
That's insane.
Yes.
But to do all of this, I am firmly of the belief that this is a LeBron power play to make them do what he wants. And what I think he wants is Kyrie Irving. And that just should tell you everything you need to know about why Michael was not a great owner. Michael was a terrible front office guy. And LeBron is the same thing. Mm-hmm. Because if you think Kyrie Irving is going to fix the problem that I just saw, all you're doing is actually compounding the problem. Because your biggest headache in this series, it wasn't Anthony Davis, it wasn't LeBron James, it was D'Angelo Russell. Because this player that was so influential in your offense, you couldn't play him. Mm-hmm. You couldn't. He was a complete liability defensively. I couldn't count on one hand the number of players that are worse defensively than D'Angelo Russell. Kyrie Irving's one of them.
But who's that guy? Who's the guy that they could get?
That could fix it?
There's
not one.
Okay.
There isn't one of those. This is what irks me. And I'm going to hit this now because this is our first one of these of the day.
I'm your huckleberry.
It's from Soaring Eagle. He said, as if it couldn't get worse for the Suns, they're advancing 4 coaches to meet for interviews in the coming days, and one of them is Doc Rivers. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to use that example off that wonderful comment. This is what NBA teams do. There's not a solution to every problem. Monty Williams was not the problem in Phoenix. LeBron James is not the problem in LA. You cannot always be championship-level contenders. The Lakers overachieved this year, and it's not close. Now, I think LeBron got to the podium, and this was the first time that he had ever just been physically dominated by another team. He's looking at Denver going, we're not getting any better, and they ain't getting any worse. So this is going to be a problem as long as I'm in purple and gold. And maybe he had a self-reflective moment and went, do I want to continue doing this? It was when he doubled down and said it to whoever he talked to on the backside of that.
Mm-hmm.
That's when I had the problem of you can't help but this narrative be all about you. And that's the reason I'm telling you definitively he ain't going anywhere. Because he's not going out.
He's not going anywhere.
He's not going out in a 4-game sweep.
No, he's not going anywhere. And I don't know. Because part of me, when I say I don't know that if it was basically, just complete hubris that I want the story to be about me, I want all the headlines on me and what's next for me rather than focusing on my opponent who just showed me up on the floor in 4 straight games. I don't know that it was that as much that as it was him deflecting from the rest of the team.
But that's how it came off.
Of course it came off
as
that way.
narcissistic.
Of
because
course it
he's
did.
not – I don't really care your allegiances. LeBron James is not a very likable person. I don't think that's even a spicy take. He's not a likable person at all. He's very aloof. He's very self-centered. And you can hear it in every interview he does.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not faulting you. You're one of the greatest players that ever lived. You have earned every bit of narcissism that you can throw out there. But now this thought that he would walk away like that is comical to me. It's exactly like I said. This feels like he just threw his elbows out and said, okay, we tried it your way. Now we're going to do it mine. But here's what I don't think he seems to understand. Who is the third most important Laker in the series?
I guess D'Angelo.
It's Austin Reeves.
Oh, yeah, Austin.
Well, if you go chase Kyrie Irving, you're going to lose Austin Reeves. You're going to lose Rui Hachimura. Those are the two that turned your season around.
Mm-hmm.
So we can keep throwing out these. Well, they could package whatever to get the absolute headache that is Kyrie Irving, or you could just lather it up and do it again.
Mm-hmm.
Hope you hit something in the draft. Hope you get one of these vet minimum guys that can play a role. Tim Raymond in our YouTube comment said, LeBron's ruining his legacy. Jordan would have hung it up right now. I agree with you. And I think it's the difference. I've always said the who's better, LeBron or Michael debate has always been comical to me. If you're talking about from growing the game, it's Michael. It's not close. In terms of athletic ability, it's LeBron.
Mm-hmm.
He's 3 inches bigger. He was faster, stronger, but then you take all of those things together, and to me, it's not even close. Because Michael had a self-awareness that LeBron doesn't have. Michael knew after that year with the Wizards, okay, I can still put up 20. I'm not sure Michael couldn't put up 20 right now.
Right.
At 58 or whatever he is. He looked at it and went, this is not fun. This is not fun because my ability to win titles has gone away, which means it's time for me to go away. And that's what he did. LeBron didn't have that.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't have that. And I 100% see this team lathering it up, doing it again, and next year, about April, we start talking about, can LeBron put him on his back and lead him to a finals? No, he can't. Because next year you're going to have a Phoenix Suns team with an actual legitimate bench. You're going to have Golden State, who I don't know what that's going to look like. You talk about a front office I don't envy right now, looking around going, okay, what do we do here? Whose feelings are we about to hurt? You got
Klay Thompson.
Yeah, probably. Memphis, if John Morant can stop posting weird things on Instagram, and you go down the line, oh, yeah, and that team that just absolutely smoked you like a honey ham, you got to do that again.
Mm-hmm.
You were competitive with them this year. They're ascending, and you're declining.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, at some point, you just have to look around and go, am I the type A that I'm not going to play if I can't win titles? Because there's no situation. There is no solution to that.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm looking at LeBron and his, well, I could just retire. Okay, that's you're doing that. You're doing that social media thing where you say something looking for attention, and then you want a response. I don't know what you think that response is going to be. And I'll tie it right into these teams looking for head coaches. All you're doing is rearranging deck chairs on the Titanic. NBA fixes are not quick, historically. Now, you hit somebody in the draft like Boston did with Jason Tatum, that can change things.
Mm-hmm.
Still takes time, and that's something he doesn't have.
Yep.
LeBron is on the 19th fairway, or on the 18th fairway at the best case scenario. That should tell you everything you need to know about me is that I immediately went to 19th hole because that's usually where you get beers on a golf course.
And here's the thing, to make that team championship level, you're going to have to try to find a way to get another star. And I don't know
There's
how
not
you
one.
do
You don't
that.
have any pieces. You don't have any money.
Right. I don't know how you do
This
that.
is not the NFL where the salary cap doesn't matter.
Trae Young was thrown out earlier today by somebody on a national program. And
there's another one.
Well, that doesn't fix your defensive problems.
No, there's another guard that can't defend a desk chair. Awesome. Let's just keep chucking those out there.
It gives LeBron the shooter, but it doesn't help you defensively, which the Miami Heat, the Boston Celtics, the Milwaukee Bucks, the Denver Nuggets are all proving you have to be able to defend to win titles in the NBA.
I feel like this playoffs has done a really good job of debunking the narrative that anybody can get anything they want in the NBA now. No, you can in the regular season. Then you get to the playoffs and everything tightens up. The rotations tighten up. You stop getting these 10-man rotations. At this point, the Heat, the Celtics, and the Nuggets are playing 7 or 8-man rotations. You're not catching that flyer guy that is borderline G-leaguer. That guy's not playing minutes anymore. And so for LeBron, you want to retire, more power to you. But
he's not gonna.
He's not gonna.
He's not gonna. I don't even think he's really thinking about it, which makes me hate the fact that he said it even more. Because no one believes that LeBron's going to walk away, that this is how it ends. I'm not saying he's going to get the storybook ending where it's going to be an NBA championship, but do you honestly think that we're not going to have the LeBron James rocking chair tour? I see his career ending that way. What do
you mean by rocking chair tour?
He will fully state, this is my last year. We do all the ceremonial things at all of the games that he goes to throughout the season. Remember the Kobe thing? Everybody gets him a gift, and it's a big deal. That's how we treat. That's the kind of treatment that superstars like that get. Kobe Bryant, Coach K, when he said it was his last year. That's how this is going to end for LeBron.
And I'm going to say again, every guy you just said, whether I loved them or hated them, had self-awareness. LeBron has had a shocking lack of that, especially over the last, I'll say, 8 years.
Really? You don't think he knows what his legacy is?
Did you see Space Jam?
Yeah.
Yeah, it really should tell you everything you need to know. He got that script and went, yeah, let's do that. All right.
Well,
I mean, I could go further if you want me to. The guy either needs a new agent or he really needs to use that say it out loud.
Yeah, but let's be
philosophy.
honest. Do you want to do a movie or do you not want to do a movie? And when you go to an NBA star and go, do you want to do a movie or do you not want to do a movie? He always goes, yeah, I want to do a movie. Let's look at the movies that the star basketball players have been in. There ain't very many good ones.
Well,
He Got Game comes to my mind. Like, that's the first one. That's like, oh, that was a good movie.
Well, I mean, my answer is always going to be yes, I would love to do a movie, but there's only one, and it has to be Animal House 2. That's the only movie I want to do. I'll do all of my own stunts.
Yeah, you are in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Partly cloudy with light winds tonight and a low dropping to 51. After a sunny start to Thursday, there may be a shower thunderstorm moving in later in the afternoon with a high near 78 and a few more showers and storms for Thursday evening with an overnight low of 53. On Friday, expect sunshine and a high of 74. As far as the Memorial Day weekend, a few showers and thunderstorms may pop up on Saturday and Sunday. Otherwise, a mix of clouds and sun with highs in the low to mid 60s and scattered thunderstorms on Memorial Day with a high of 73. I'm Jeff Marr from the Weather Channel.
This report is sponsored by Verizon. Ready to take control of your phone plan? Well, then you better take that next turn to a Verizon store. Because my plan from Verizon is the kind of control we all deserve. Get exactly what you want. Only pay for what you need. Get my plan at your Verizon store today.
Life is short, and if we spend our time suffering with pain and it takes away our joy, that's not a very good way to live.
He's right. It's hard to be happy when you're in constant pain. QC Kinetics patient Chad admits the chronic pain in his knee really robbed his quality of life.
When I was going to the traditional doctor and getting the pain pills, my smile wasn't as big as it usually is. Going to my high school reunion on crutches, it was awful.
But then Chad visited QC Kinetics. He experienced the real power behind natural regenerative treatments. Using healing properties from his own body, QC Kinetics was able to restore and repair damaged tissue, finally giving Chad lasting relief with no drugs, no surgery, and no downtime.
And I'm feeling on top of the world because of QC Kinetics.
Learn how advanced regenerative medicine can help your body heal itself at QC Kinetics. Call now for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 828-333-9517. That's 828-333-9517. 828-333-9517.
For more information about contests on the station, log on to espnavl.com.
Our communities are filled with wonderful people who make living here great. At Home Trust Bank, we're proud of that. And that's why we focus on helping homeowners prepare for what's next. Our local mortgage bankers have the experience you need and exceptional personal service you'll appreciate. Home Trust Bank is ready to help make a house your home. When it's time to buy, visit your local Home Trust branch or go to htb.com/mortgage.
Rogue Combat Club, Asheville's home for comprehensive martial arts training, has a goal for our community, one that's stronger, more fit, and unwavers in its support of one another. Rogue Combat Club's instructors have competed at the highest levels and offer classes for everyone from young children to adults in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Muay Thai, and wrestling. Rogue Combat Club classes can help you boost your self-confidence and self-defense skills while weeding out the egos and intimidation found at other gyms. Join today at roguecombatclub.com.
Real estate isn't about properties, it's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt-Zach with eXp Realty, your native realtor serving all of Western North Carolina. I will work hard for you, and I believe in doing the right thing every time. I market each of my listings to reach out-of-town buyers. I use a professional photographer and drone video on every single listing, as well as collaborate with agents across the country to find your buyer. Check me out online at clarissasellswnc.com or give me a call at 828-774-6343. It would be my pleasure to assist you through the real estate process.
At Ingles, whether we're celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park, it's all in the bag. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
Boy, you must be outside your mind.
The Sportsocracy.
Just a bit outside. He tried the corner and missed.
It is the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville. Time to get just a bit outside. And, hey, talk about blast from the past. Adrian Peterson's in the news today. He did an interview with the Fort Worth Star-Telegram where they were asking him, hey, what's your future look like for playing football? Seeing as how Adrian Peterson is 38 years old. And, oh, by the way, doesn't play the most protected position in the NFL. He plays running back. What's the future? And he said, well, I'm actually not technically retired. I never filed my paperwork, so there's a chance. And then he said, we'll see what happens. My mindset is if God's willing, maybe an opportunity presents itself, and maybe it happens this season. I'll go from there. But nothing happens this season for sure. I'll be hanging it up. Well, thank God you settled our minds on that one, because we were really wondering when 38-year-old Adrian Peterson was going to grace us with his presence on a football field again, since I didn't even know you'd been playing in the last 10 years.
Well, you've known that recently.
Well, yeah.
The Lions. Yeah. Did you remember he played 3 games for the Titans? Did you remember he played a game for the Seahawks? Because I'll be honest with you, I did not.
No.
When you said Adrian Peterson was in the news, I was legitimately afraid that he was holding a parenting conference.
Oh.
My story is about the EA Sports
Spare the rod.
There you go. College football video game that'll be coming out next summer. We have good news. Tank, did you ever play the college football game?
I still do.
I feel like – wait, what?
I still do. I still got my PS3 hooked up down in the basement. I still play
That game is 10 years old.
It is.
The
College
graphics
football
are
2014.
awful. Do you at least use the emulator where they update the rosters and?
No, because I usually play that. It's not the Dynasty mode because they got rid of the Dynasty, or the Dynasty mode wasn't great on that. I think it was the Heisman.
Was awesome.
The Heisman mode. the Heisman mode where you play your character.
Road to Glory.
Yeah, the Road to Glory. That's what it was. I love playing the Road to Glory.
Well, what you just said made my brain hurt because the reason that you would play this game would be Dynasty mode. And if you're a lover of this game, and I've been waiting with bated breath for it to come out for, 2 years now since they first announced this, I have really good information. Matt Brown, he is – I don't know how he's getting all of this information. I have no clue. He's basically just a video game blogger, has said that his EA sources have told him that the flagship game mode for this game is Dynasty mode.
It should be.
And then we went one step further. Ari Wasserman works for The Athletic, and he has seen the recruiting interface and has said it is the most comprehensive thing he has ever seen in his life. And for me, that just it makes me feel warm and fuzzy to get to do it again.
Are you like I am in some sense? Like I will sim games just to get to the next week of recruiting.
No doubt. 100% of it. Especially when the team was bad.
Oh yeah.
Oh yes. Who was your go-to team? When you played Dynasty mode, who did you play with?
In the old versions of the game, see, this is what I want in the new one. I want to be able to create my team again. Like
you could do that up until very late.
Yeah, but you could have done that, but then you had to go on EASports.com and create a login and all this kind of stuff to be able to create a team and use their online created team. What happened to just me being able to create the UNC Asheville Bulldogs and winning a national championship in 1 year?
Mine was UNC Charlotte.
Yes. UNC Asheville or Trident Tech. I did Trident Tech a lot. That's my alma mater from Low Country of South Carolina.
My alma mater was on the game, so I didn't have to do any of that.
Well, I didn't go to a Power 5 school or even a Division anything school.
Or even a school that anybody's ever heard of.
We're not even in a conference.
We're the Trident Tech Eskimo hats. What was the mascot of
We
your
didn't
school?
have one. There wasn't one. Does AB Tech have one?
Yeah.
Do they?
Eagles, I think.
Is it? I think back in the day they used to be like the Adams or something, but I don't even know that they even
I'm not sure that they
anymore.
use it for any. Well, They don't have a team. Nobody's playing.
They did.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Playing on the JUCO circuit or the community college circuit. I don't even know how that works.
Tank went
at one point they did.
Tank went to the Trident Tech non-applicables.
Nope.
You're also going to have real player name, image, and likeness in this, which is that's
great.
Exciting to me.
And there's not a single player that's not going to do it. That story came out last.
Will.
That
somebody will. Somebody's going.
But it ain't going to be nobody of name.
Well,
I don't think. It's not going to be like Quinn Ewers is going to hold out for his own video game or whatever.
Arch Manning. Arch Manning is the one. I'm just telling you. Arch is going to. How much do I make off this? $8. Awesome. I'm out.
Yeah, I'm waiting for my video game to come out from Omaha Productions.
Do you remember? And this was something that I had a Twitter conversation with when the story about name, image, and likeness came out. Do you remember how there were times when Jordan was playing that you couldn't play with?
Absolutely.
It was like I don't remember what the name was.
You had to play with number 23.
It wasn't 23. If I remember correctly,
unlike the old NBA Live games.
I was thinking about like NBA Live 97. I don't think he wore 23 because I think he even pitched a little whiner about it being his number.
I think he was like number 23 on the earlier versions, and then it was like, oh, here's number 99 for the Chicago Bulls, playing small forward, 6'6", out of the University of North Carolina. It's Stephen.
Roster player. That was roster player. That was his name.
Player one.
Yeah.
Like the old WWE video game. You could create your own guy, and the crowd would chant, Player one! Player one! That was like the first Raw video game that ever came out.
I couldn't remember for the life of me what they called Michael, but he was roster player. It was him, Shaquille O'Neal, and a few others that wouldn't give their name.
I don't remember Shaq doing it.
He only did it for a couple years, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
And that was
was this after his big starring role in The Man of Steel?
Steel.
Or
it was
whatever
just
it was.
Steel. Man of Steel is
well, that's the Henry Cavill. That's the first Henry Cavill one.
Yes.
Right?
Silver, just one comment of the day. I'll call right now. The NFL coach game. If there was ever a game that you were going to bring back and actually do the right way, NFL head coach.
I never played that game.
Oh, I spent – first of all, the interface was god-awful. That was –
probably why I never played that game.
I think it was 2009. I think that's when that game came out. And it was on PlayStation either 2 or 3, and I don't remember which one.
Mm-hmm.
I played that game for hours, and I would get so angry because it would glitch, and you would have to do all these things to find the right players.
Was that the one with, like, Mike Tomlin on the cover?
Tony Dungy was on the cover.
Tony Dungy, okay.
And you had to do all of these things to uncover the hidden gems, and then I would get them all. And after 2 or 3 years, I just had a super team. And then the game would glitch and crash, and you would lose everything. And I would say so many obscenities.
Absolutely.
Like however many you're thinking in your head, quadruple it and add 4.
Didn't even have your old save point to go back to?
It would have the memory card, but then it would corrupt the game file. It was like some glitch in the game.
Yeah.
If they're going to redo any game, now that we've got the college football game back, we've got that right. Get that right.
Not yet. I still got another year before it's in my hand or downloaded on mine. They're going to make me buy a new console for that, aren't they?
No doubt. I already have both. So,
man,
I mean, you can
but
buy
I'm going
one.
to have to. I'm going to have to.
You
because
can buy one of mine for the low price of almost what I paid for it.
I'm going to have to. Because there's no way that this game can come out and I don't win all of the trophies within 3 or 4 weeks of it coming out.
No doubt.
Play every rivalry game and win them all. I got to have the Beehive boot in the locker room or the trophy case.
I was really notorious for playing with like UAB. I would take the most god-awful program you could possibly find that had cool helmets, and I would make them a power.
Yep. I'd always use the logo from Western Illinois. For
the Bulldog?
Yeah, the Bulldog for UNC Asheville. It would be the UNC, and then it was, the Trident Tech Cougars.
Did you make yourself?
Yeah, I did.
Did you make yourself dimensionally accurate?
Hell no. I was always 6'4", 225 pounds, and just yoked.
Oh, you mean like I am? Let's go.
Like I am.
Oh, you mean like I am?
Ladies and gentlemen, that's what a lie sounds like.
I mean, the 6'4" is true.
Well, that is true.
225 pounds. If I do that. I actually.
Much different.
I really just walked you right into that because I wanted to see what dimensionally you were created, Tank Spencer.
Oh, yeah. I was never making 6 foot, 300 pound, slow as hell. That's not fun to play with.
Oh, I was about to say 6 foot, 300 pounds. You're still giving yourself a whole mess of liberties from when that game was that popular.
Well, height-wise.
I don't think you could make yourself 5'6", 412. I don't think that was a dimension. That was a thing. Tank's playing nose tackle for a high school team.
Come on. I was creating something for myself, not my prom dates.
There you go. There you go. Oh, goodness.
Anyhow, I don't remember Shaq doing that in the video
games. He did it for a year. I actually just saw it when I pulled
Like I said, it had to be after Kazam came out because he thought
No,
he
it
was
wasn't
awesome.
Shaq. It was Charles Barkley. I had the wrong one.
It's
Charles Barkley. He was also roster player.
And nobody cared.
No.
And then
they made the thing where you could edit the names, and I went, oh, sweet, Michael Jordan. And then they'd block that off, and I'd go, I can spell Michael a bunch of ways.
Mm-hmm.
So unless you got super creative, they didn't, then you're not going to block me from doing what I want to do right here.
Mykael.
I don't care if I spell 14 letters. This character's name is going to be Michael Jordan. The other one's going to be Chuck Barkley.
Kids today they don't know.
No.
They don't know the struggles.
No, kids today you're spoiled, okay? You never had to do any of that. You never had to go through the expansion draft in NBA Live 98. Speaking of that, when we come back off our little vacation, as a programming note, we will be gone starting for the weekend because we don't do shows on the weekend. Then Memorial Day, we're off. We're off Tuesday and Wednesday. We're preempted by the Braves on Wednesday. And, well, no excuse to not take a 5-day weekend if you're going to be offered it. So, but when we come back, we started an idea when we had the morning show way back in the day.
Seems like ages ago.
It doesn't it though? Do you remember how much work that was?
Yes.
Because I feel like it's a lot of work to do this show now, and we used to do a whole other one.
Right.
Anyway, that we had the expansion team. Well, we're bringing that idea back, and we're going to do it over the rest of the offseason. The only difference this time is I'm going to have one, and Tank is as well. PFF took my idea, which we hadn't touched it in 3 years, so I can't really be that angry. But then they took it and they broke it. So we're going to do it the right way.
Of course they broke it. Lots of suggestions in the chat here for best video games. I'm seeing a lot of NFL 2K1.
Oh, Dreamcast. Everything with Dreamcast was awesome.
Never played the Dreamcast.
Really?
No.
I got for the first Christmas after Dreamcast came out. I remember there was one under my tree, and I unwrapped it, and then I went, I'll see y'all in July.
I remember playing the boxing game at a friend's house on the Dreamcast, and I went, okay, I'm done with this. Because I think I jumped immediately from Nintendo 64 to Xbox.
Really?
Yeah.
I think I've had every system at some point. I know I've had a version of every PlayStation. From when it was just PlayStation by itself through all the numbers. I've had a 360 all the way up to, I don't even know what the one I own now is.
PlayStation 5?
I guess.
Or do you have a PS4? You haven't upgraded.
I have a PS5 for sure. And I've got an updated Xbox. I don't ever play it, but I have it.
What was the latest one of that? The one? The Xbox One?
I don't know. It's white, and it sits underneath my television. And right now it needs to be dusted badly because I don't think I've turned it on in a year.
Hence why you can't remember what version.
See, I'm one of those people. If a game comes out and I have to have it, it's only on Xbox. And I know they don't really do that anymore. But if it's only on one, I've got to have the system that's played on now, don't I?
Yep. Oh, now we're getting non-sports games being thrown. Crazy Taxi, that was a fun game.
Oh, yeah.
I was trying to explain Driver 2 to my kids the other day. Did you ever play that one? It's basically like Grand Theft Auto, only you didn't get out of the car. Like you were always in the car. You were just driving around doing different tasks and running from the cops and all of that. But it wasn't like Grand Theft Auto where you could get out and punch people and take their cars and, shoot them and all that kind of stuff.
I was the Grand Theft Auto. I did a lot of damage on that game, but I don't remember the one you were talking about. I vaguely remember Crazy Taxi.
Mm-hmm.
I remember all the sports games.
Crazy Taxi was fun because you had to go pick people up and drop them off, and you had to do it in time limits.
Yes, now, that one I remember.
It was a fun game.
See, I just could never play any of the games that were not for colorblind people. Call of Duty. I had a slew of friends that were good at that, and I tried it, and then they would even try to give me the buffer of, Jeremy, where you're standing, I can see you perfectly right now, and I'm going to give you about 5 seconds before I just shoot you. And I would spin around and go, I don't know where, bang, there I went. I hate this game. It's stupid.
You are in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400.
At Ingles, we are proud to introduce our all-new curbside service. Just visit shop.ingles-markets.com or download the app to order, and our friendly staff will bring your groceries right to your car and have you ready to go in no time. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
If cleanliness is next to godliness, look around the car right now. Is that very godly? Look, life comes at you fast, but so does WBNC Auto Detailing. They have the tools to make your interior look like it's coming off the showroom floor. You don't believe me? Check them out on Instagram. All that filth and years of stains disappear. WBNC Auto Detailing does full interior and exterior details with paint correction, and they do wax and ceramic coatings. Call WBNC Auto Detailing at 455-3700. Premium care with a Southern hospitality touch.
Spring in the South means the return of Atlanta Braves baseball.
There's a liner out towards center field. It will lay down. Here comes Ronald. Braves win it.
The 2023 Braves load up for another huge season.
The Braves play here on ESPN Asheville.
Calling all true crime podcast fans. Tune into Freeway Phantom and join a new investigation into the 50-year-old unsolved murders of 6 young black girls in Washington, D.C. Explore startling new evidence that could crack these cold cases wide open and bring as many questions as they do answers.
We still care.
and it still hurts. We just want to know what happened.
Listen to Freeway Phantom on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Ready to take control of your phone plan? Well, then you better take that next turn to a Verizon store. Because my plan from Verizon is the kind of control we all deserve. Get exactly what you want. Only pay for what you need. Get my plan at your Verizon store today.
Hi, I'm Chad Greenway. After retiring from the NFL, I've embraced my new role coaching my kids in their youth sports. Our Youth Basketball Association made the decision to use trusted coaches to train, screen, and educate all of our basketball coaches. Visit trustedcoaches.org to learn more. I'm a trusted coach. Are you?
At the United States Postal Service, we're reinventing our network to help keep your business moving. With new shipping options to deliver better value, greater flexibility to conveniently reach your customers, more confident shipping with new informed delivery features, and new electric vehicles for a cleaner, brighter future. Fast, reliable, perfectly orchestrated. The United States Postal Service, delivering for America. Learn more at USPS.com/moving forward.
The Dell Technologies Summer Sale event starts now with limited quantity deals on select performance PCs with Windows 11 Pro. Save on select Vostro laptops with built-in security features and select Latitude laptops with enhanced privacy, collaboration, and connectivity. Save on essential accessories, plus free shipping and special financing with Dell Business Credit. Dell Technologies recommends Windows 11 Pro for business. Call a Dell Technologies advisor at 877-ASK-DELL. That's 877-ASK-DELL. Offered to business customers by WebBank, who determines qualifications for and terms of credit.
Imagine transforming your outdoor space into a stylish and functional area for relaxation and entertainment. Imagine superior durability and longevity, ensuring that your investment lasts for years to come. Imagine whatever you'd like. Decorators Composite Decking, Railing, Balusters, and Accessories can help you create a deck that reflects your personal style and provides an inviting space for you and your loved ones to gather. Make your vision a reality. To learn more, visit decorators.com. That's decorators with a K.
Hi, this is Super Bowl champion Brad Johnson, inviting you to join me for the Wicked Weed Brad Johnson Golf Classic, June 13th at the Cliffs at Walnut Cove. This tournament is Evelyn Charity's largest annual fundraiser of the year, and we need your support more than ever. I look forward to seeing you for a great day of golf.
For more information about playing or a sponsorship, go to eblencharities.org, EBLEN charities.org. And we'll see you at beautiful Walnut Cove on June 13th.
iHeart gives you access to the hottest music, events, and deals. But on June 1st, we're giving you access like never before. It's iHeartRadio Access Day, our 24-hour way of saying thank you for listening. Go to iHeartRadioAccessDay.com today.
You could be joining Colin Cowherd in LA to experience a live broadcast of The Herd with Colin Cowherd.
Head to iHeartRadioAccessDay.com to register to receive reminders for when experiences like this and more go live on June 1st.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Partly cloudy with light winds tonight and a low dropping to 51. After a sunny start to Thursday, there may be a shower thunderstorm moving in later in the afternoon with a high near 78 and a few more showers and storms for Thursday evening with an overnight low of 53. On Friday, expect sunshine and a high of 74. As far as the Memorial Day weekend, a few showers and thunderstorms may pop up on Saturday and Sunday. Otherwise, a mix of clouds and sun with highs in the low to mid 60s and scattered thunderstorms on Memorial Day with a high of 73. I'm Jeff Marr from the Weather Channel.
This report is sponsored by Blue Ridge Health. At Blue Ridge Health, everyone deserves access to top-notch, compassionate health care, no matter their insurance or income status. Keep your family healthy with updated immunizations for COVID-19, flu, chickenpox, and shingles. Health care for all people, including you. Learn more at brchs.com.
You lost brain cells listening to this one. And this one, too. And, this one. What were we saying? The new Rock 105.1, Asheville's Real Rock.
On Sunday, June 11th, it's the second annual Rad Half Marathon and 10K. Both races, which are point-to-point and begin at Pack Square in downtown Asheville, are USATF certified. The race concludes with a finisher medal at the Wedge at Foundation with live music as well. And there's also cash prizes for the overall top 3 male and female winners of the 10K. Part of the proceeds benefit the Greenbuilt Alliance, Elida Home, and iDream Athletes Foundation. For more information and to get signed up, go to idaf.net, idaph.net. Proudly sponsored by iHeartMedia, Asheville.
Have your outdoors and running water, too.
with Luxury Lou, the tasteful solution to portable bathroom rentals. Family-owned and local, Luxury Lou Rental provides modern bathrooms on the go with running water, AC and heating, flushable toilets, and elegant designs. Luxury Loos are perfect for weddings, corporate events, remodels, and more. Don't leave your well-dressed guests to use a dirty porta-potty John.
Ew.
Turn to Asheville natives. Luxury Lou. Visit LuxuryLoosRental.com.
The Sportsocracy.
The ceiling is the roof. Let's make it happen. Let's keep moving forward.
From the Ingalls Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart radio station.
Sports Center.
I'm Christine Lisi. Police in Tennessee conducted a welfare check on Grizzly star Ja Morant today following cryptic messages on his Instagram story account. Officials say the Morant's fine, just taking a break from social media. He was suspended from all team activities after a video of him holding a gun circulated on social media May 13th. Optimism from the 49ers that quarterback Brock Purdy could be fully cleared to return to football from UCL surgery by week 1. They're hoping he'll be back as their starter early in the season. Until then, lots of Trey Lance and Sam Darnold for the 49ers, who set themselves up with options, explains ESPN's Dan Graziano.
Lance shows something in the offseason and preseason games. He may be a guy that becomes of interest to other teams, and maybe the 49ers can get something for him in a trade. Or maybe if Brock Purdy has a setback, they end up going with Lance if he has a promising offseason. And then they have Darnold there as well, who has the experience in case they have to use him.
Panthers captain Alexander Barkov back from a lower body injury. Game 4 NHL East Final tonight against the Hurricanes. Florida with a win advances to the Stanley Cup Final for the first time since 1996.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. They're close, convenient, and have the parts you need fast, along with excellent customer service from professional parts people you can trust. Stop by your local O'Reilly Auto Parts today or visit O'ReillyAuto.com.
He's a degenerate gambler.
You are a smelly pirate hooker.
And he's cheaper than oxygen.
He's useless.
But somehow, they make it work. Jeremy Green, Tank Spencer. There's no holding back in the Sportsocracy. Presented by Ingalls Supermarkets.
It is the Sportsocracy live in the Ingalls studio on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. We are heard everywhere on the iHeartRadio app, and you can see us live on YouTube. Just go to thesportsocracy.com, click the live video link, subscribe to the channel. That way you can join us in the chat, reminisce with us about, NBA stars and movies, which, by the way, is going to be today's daily draft. Names on the door, so we've decided that's now what we're going to do. Today, we'll push off the NBA duos to tomorrow. But with the discussions of such great, thespian appearances like Shaquille O'Neal in Kazam.
I don't feel like that's going to get drafted.
And Dirk Nowitzki in Like Mike.
I say I have to be very careful because, yes, I have seen more of these movies that I'm proud of. As we looked at the list in the break, I have seen a lot of these. Godfather, no. Forget Paris, yes.
Aha! That's the thing we know now.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Actually saw that one in theaters.
Nice. So that'll be coming up in the daily draft at the top of the third hour of the program. But I feel like we owe the Sportsocracy family an apology because, you had to live through the 2 years and some change that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers were relevant, one of the top stories in the NFL. And now you're going to have to live through the next 3, maybe 4 years of the New York Jets being in the discussion.
You didn't do it right.
Oh, I'm sorry.
The 2024 Super Bowl champion New York Jets.
This is what we're talking about. Aaron Rodgers is in town, and now they're legit contenders, according to their head coach. And both of us. Obviously. Yeah. You get Aaron Rodgers to one of the best young teams in the NFL. There's going to be a lot of high hopes. Today, Rob Saleh talking to the media, head coach of the Jets, saying that, every year there are 32 teams in this league and 32 coaches that go into their locker rooms talking about winning a championship. Or he said that really we all know there are only 6 to 8 that actually have a legitimate shot. And I believe that we are one of the 6 to 8 that have a legitimate shot. And I don't feel like that's being too boisterous.
I don't either.
That's living in the real world.
Well, I have noticed something. And now, obviously, this being my team, this being a team that I'm very well connected to, I'm seeing things that I've never seen before. I've never seen participation like this in a voluntary minicamp. I've never seen every player in the building. No matter, some of them are rehabbing injuries, still there. And I'm seeing something out of Aaron Rodgers, and he basically said it yesterday. The calf tweak that we had yesterday, and a lot of people were, well, Aaron's already hurt. Okay, let me explain to you what happened. He was doing a medicine ball drill, which I am kind of confounded that he did in the first place. But basically, you take a medicine ball, you do a little bit of a short long jump, and you throw it to your partner across the way. And I fully believe that Aaron went, what am I doing right now? I don't want to do this. This sucks. Oh, no. Hurt.
There's a reason why I don't do this.
Yeah. He's like, you should be glad I'm here.
Right.
Maybe keep me away from the high school drills and just let me do what it is that I do.
There's certain guys that I don't want to put in that situation. I mean, obviously, you need training, you need conditioning. There's something to be said for all of that.
No doubt.
But I don't know that I want my 38-year-old quarterback out there risking an Achilles pop on some ridiculous exercise.
But now I'm going to hearken back to something I said last year. And I got duped. And I'm not going to tell you I'm not going to get duped again. There is a camaraderie with this Jets team that, and maybe it's because I'm biased because the New York media oversaturates everything. There's something special about this team and the way that the position players and have interacted with each other. And I saw it last offseason. If you remember, they had the offseason camp at Wayne Gretzky's house. And Zach Wilson was out there throwing passes, and they had Flacco and all the other pieces of that. Well, then you get into the season, and you realize that your quarterback is an overgrown cherub. And then that kind of wanes.
Mm-hmm.
Well, now I'm seeing it again, and it seems that Aaron Rodgers has caught this as well. Because he's making it very clear. And there's only one way I can equate this. This is you go through the bad breakup. You're with somebody for a long time. They have flaws. You have flaws. Maybe you start arguing at dinner parties, and everybody realizes that it's best that you two go different ways. And then one of you meets a very attractive person, maybe a little younger than you, and you go to social media to tell everybody how great your life is, and I feel rejuvenated, and I found the fountain of youth. And now I'm going to be a realistic Jet fan and say these almost never end well. You ever known somebody that did this? I've got one in mind. I'm not going to say their name because they do live in the city.
I was going to say.
Long-time breakup, guy about my age. Next girl he starts dating is 23 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm watching this going, you do realize that you don't have a lot in common with this person? And, I mean, I get it. Trust me, I 100% get it. And it ended famously badly. Because it's an awkward, clunky fit. And I'm getting a little nervous because I'm watching the Jets social media team. The Jets have one of the best social media teams in the league. Everything they do has Aaron in it.
Mm-hmm.
And I know why you're doing it. You're doing it for clicks. You're doing it for all that. There's a lot more to this team than Aaron Rodgers. And my hope is that this OTA will get all of these things out of the way, and then the New York media can move on to Super Bowl aspirations as we get further into the offseason. Is what I'm saying here making any sense?
Well, yes. And in a perfect world, I would hope so.
Aaron's always going to be the narrative. I'm not delusional enough to.
That's what I was getting ready to say.
I just hope it's not the only narrative.
The problem with that is, and see, that's where I think you're stuck. Because when you took on Aaron Rodgers, when you took on Captain Ayahuasca, you you took on one of the biggest names in the sport.
No doubt.
Now that there's no Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers is number 2 behind Patrick Mahomes in
Absolutely.
name recognition and sellability and all of that.
I would say Burrow's very close.
Marketability, I guess, is something I should have said.
Yeah, sellability's not a word.
Sellability's not there.
Yeah, it's not a word.
But
it's like my humbility. That's also not
right.
a word.
Exactly. But you get what I'm saying. Like Aaron Rodgers is the story for the New York Jets. Aaron Rodgers is the narrative, and he's going to be. You can have all these fun little ancillary stories throughout the season of, the defense stepped up and played really big this week, but in the end, it's always going to come down to what Aaron Rodgers did or did not do to have your team win the game. That is where you got to just take. You just got to take it as it comes, because this is the path you have chosen, just like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I mean, there wasn't much talk about anything other than Tom Brady with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
That's a completely different media.
Why? Oh, media.
That's a completely different
I thought
media.
you were going to say that was a completely different story. I was like, this is the same story.
They have more. I'll put it this way. The Jets have more beat writers in one zip code than the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have in the United States of America. That's what – and Stephen Tao actually beat me to the point. He said in the YouTube comments, just look how they got behind Mike White. That's my point. And I had pretty good access to that. There was a reason for that. You know why they liked Mike White so much? Because he was a dude. They believed in the talent. They believed in the personality. And he fit in the room. And Aaron is doing all of the right things right now to fit in the room. And I hope that continues. I'm looking at things going, man, a lot of this feels really put on because there's a camera in front of me. Either Aaron Rodgers was the most miserable person in the NFL for the last 3 years, which is entirely possible.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not telling you it's not.
Mm-hmm.
Or we're doing a little bit of this for the public narrative.
It's both.
Yesterday, he started talking about how great of a show Jersey Shore was. Stop that.
You watched it. Stop.
Never a second.
Really?
Nope.
That surprises
Not
me.
once. What about that show makes you think I would watch it?
I mean,
just because there's pretty people?
Guy, yeah, you are a guy who loves the drama.
I do. I also really hate fake tan.
For some reason, you strike me as a Snooki person.
Oh, no. No, there was a girl in that show, though. She was okay. It wasn't her. I don't remember her name. I'd have to go back and look at the cast. No, that did nothing for me. There's nothing that irks me more. And this is going to – frat boy, I'm fine. Bro, not so much. And there's a total difference. And much like Nancy Reagan once said, I can point it out to you when I see it, but I can't necessarily put a definition on it. But I'm seeing all these things going, okay, either this is going much more swimmingly than I thought. Because I thought this would be clunky to begin with. That's why I thought it was so important that he came to OTAs.
Clunky how?
Well, I mean, yeah, you've got Lazard that he knows, but then you talk about Mercedes Lewis. Or he would be the 7th tight end on this team. And you're bringing in Randall Cobb, and you're bringing in all these guys to make him feel hunky-dunky at the expense of more talented players. The one thing that I didn't want in this whole procedure, I don't want to just have to acquiesce you. There's a lot of good already here. And if you want to come ingratiate yourself into the good, awesome. But then I start seeing the Alan Lazard and the Randall Cobb and talking about Mercedes Lewis and talking about Mason Crosby. I don't want to be Packers East. You've complained about your weapons for 5 years, and now you want us to just bring all of your weapons here. That doesn't make any sense to me.
It makes perfect sense to me. He likes guys that he's comfortable with,
and I got that.
But he also wanted more. And so what did he get? Well, if I can take the pieces that I like with me and the pieces that I trust, which obviously Alan Lazard, Randall Cobb, the Mercedes Lewis, I get to bring the familiar pieces with me. But I also have Garrett Wilson.
Garrett Wilson and Corey Davis and C.J. Uzomah.
Right.
And so that's kind of where I was headed with this. If you listen to Aaron's press conference, he was talking about Uzomah. And he was talking about Corey Davis. He was talking about Garrett Wilson. It wasn't so much his guys.
Because he knows what they are.
And that leads me to ask a question. And maybe it's because I am new to the Aaron Rodgers circus as a fan, not as a commentator. but you got to remember how long I've been doing this. Bob Brown, our YouTube comments. Aaron will be Aaron, and he will revert back. Horses, not zebras. He's using my own line against me.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm going to use your words against you. What if what we've seen out of Aaron the last few years in Green Bay was the reverting? Aaron Rodgers wasn't always this person. He wasn't. He spent 10 years quite possibly being the most drab person in the NFL. We talked more about him in the last 2 years than we did in the previous 14 combined.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm curious if maybe it's not was the reverting back to who he actually is, which is what we saw to begin his career, and it was just that bad in Green Bay. Is there a possibility of that?
To where he becomes the silent type again?
No. I'm not expecting him to be the silent. You're not going to get the shot to be the silent type in New York.
Exactly.
Even, Brett Favre wasn't the silent type when he was in New York. You don't get the chance of that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking about being a team guy. I'm talking about being the guy that I'm out here with the guys, because that's what Aaron did for a lot of years.
Yeah, I get it, but I don't feel like he ever truly lost that. Just because he says, or his people say, or wherever the rumors come from, that Aaron Rodgers is unhappy because he doesn't have more weapons.
Then why does he want all the ones that he had here?
Because he liked them. He liked the guys that he had, but he needed more. Honestly, if you really want to know my true beliefs on this, Aaron Rodgers, no doubt, one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time in the NFL.
Fact.
He's been one of my favorite players since, 2009 or 2010 or whenever he rose.
2009 was the ascension year.
Right. Been one of my favorite players since then. But I also feel like there's a whole lot of that I need to blame my failures on somebody else because I can only do so much. You can't get away from it. Just like LeBron James bringing up at the end of a 4-game sweep that, I might retire now. I don't want people talking about all of the things that we didn't do. I want to focus on something else. So maybe Aaron doesn't want the focus to be on what his shortcomings are in going to NFC championship games and falling on his face, or his coaches falling on his face, or the kicking game falling. It was always something else with Green Bay on why they didn't make the next step. All those years, he only got to one Super Bowl or won one Super Bowl. There was something else standing in his way every time. It was either Mike McCarthy and the drab offense, or it was, Mason Crosby and the special teams, or it later became LaFleur making bad calls at the end of games. He liked the pieces that he liked. He's always a team guy for his guys. He just wanted a little bit more. And now he goes to New York where he's got a little bit more. I don't know that ever really changed. He's always struck me as a team guy, but
he did in the last few years in Green Bay. And I guess that's where I'm at. Is this a honeymoon phase in Green Bay or in New York? Or was it that bad in Green Bay? And I really want to fixate on what you said about the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
We got to take a break.
Okay.
But I did a little digging. And I've heard this narrative of, Aaron he never could come through in the playoffs. Well, that's an adorable narrative. But in the words of Ben Shapiro, facts don't care about your feelings. And there are some facts that a lot of you seem to leave out when we have this little discussion. And I think it ties in directly to the Jets.
You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic is stop and go 26 westbound between Airport Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway. Light delays 26 eastbound between Long Shoals Road to approaching Airport Road. Smoky Park Highway north and southbound near Sand Hill Road. Traffic is backing up. Sardis Road northbound slow between Brevard Road and Sand Hill Road. Hendersonville Road moving incident-free. Sweeten Creek Road northbound approaching Mills Gap Road is slow. On the Charlotte Highway, no backups. I'm Lyndon Fuel with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by KFC. Everybody's going to want KFC's new Kentucky Fried Chicken Nuggets. Each hand-breaded nugget is made with 100% white meat and their famous original recipe. You've never had nuggets like these. That's finger licking good.
Grab your shades, your flip-flops, and your free iHeartRadio app for the unofficial start of summer 2023. No matter where you go this summer, your favorite radio station, the music you love, and the best podcasts in the world will be along for the adventure. Download the free iHeartRadio app today.
Calling all true crime podcast fans. Tune into Freeway Phantom and join a new investigation into the 50-year-old unsolved murders of 6 young black girls in Washington, D.C. Explore startling new evidence that could crack these cold cases wide open and bring as many questions as they do answers.
We still care, and it still hurts. We just want to know what happened.
Listen to Freeway Phantom on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
The Dell Technologies Summer Sale event starts now with limited quantity deals on select performance PCs with Windows 11 Pro. Save on select Vostro laptops with built-in security features and select Latitude laptops with enhanced privacy, collaboration, and connectivity. Save on essential accessories, plus free shipping and special financing with Dell Business Credit. Dell Technologies recommends Windows 11 Pro for business. Call a Dell Technologies advisor at 877-ASK-DELL. That's 877-ASK-DELL. Offered to business customers by WebBank, who determines qualifications for and terms of credit.
Discover credit cards automatically double all the cash back you earn at the end of your first year, which means... Wait, hold up. Question for the audio engineer.
Go ahead.
Did I read that right? Discover automatically doubles all your cash back?
Yeah, that's what the script says.
So if I get a Discover card right now, I can earn twice the cash back.
Apparently. Wait! Unlimited first-year cash back match, only from Discover. See terms and learn more at discover.com/match.
I believe real estate isn't about properties. It's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt-Zack with eXp Realty, serving all of Western North Carolina. Navigating the home buying and selling journey can feel overwhelming at times, and that's why having an agent who cares about you and your needs is key. I'm a native of Western North Carolina, and I close over a home a week. I'm an expert in the market, pricing my sellers correctly to net you the most money, and working as a skilled negotiator for my buyers. Please give me a call today at 828-774-6343 to set up a complimentary market analysis.
It's time to discover the convenience and time savings of contact-free pickup with Ingles Curbside. Just visit shop.ingles-markets.com or download the app. And your Ingles personal shopper gets to work with specialized training on how to select the freshest items for a pre-scheduled pickup. They'll even text you with updates. You pull up to a designated space and your personal shopper delivers your items right to your vehicle. Fresh, fast, and affordable. It's all in the bag. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
The Sportsocracy.
Ice up, son. Ice up.
Aaron Rodgers having to put some ice on the calf after he had a little tweak in OTAs with the New York Jets. Everybody kind of losing their minds. Oh, he's already hurt. He's 38 years old. He'll never make it through a season.
Oh, he's broken. He's a broken toy.
Yeah. Gonna say I disagree with you. All right, so Aaron Rodgers, obviously the one Super Bowl title hangs over his head. See, Aaron Rodgers had that great ascension that nobody really saw coming. Nobody really saw him coming off the bench. We looked, or at least I did, looked at Aaron Rodgers kind of the same way as we look at Jordan Love. We didn't really know why did you do this? You're bridging the gap to Brett Favre, but you're doing it a year too early or 2 years too early. And then he came in and it was obvious, like this guy belongs. This guy belongs in the NFL. He immediately took Green Bay to the playoffs in 2009. In 2010, he comes in and wins a Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
And then the rest of his career has been chasing the glory of his second year as a starter in the league. Why?
So I'm a big fan of stats because there's really no misrepresent. I mean, you can make a stat and say something that it doesn't really mean, but then you get to certain ones and there's really no debunking what it is that I'm saying. So I'm going to take that Ben Shapiro line and I'm going to modify it and say stats don't care about your feelings. So I'm going to ask you a question, and I want to see – I'm going to give you a stat line. This is a career stat line in the playoffs.
Okay.
And I want to see if you can tell me who this is. Threw for 7,339 yards, 63% completion guy, 40 touchdowns, 25 interceptions, sacked 40 times. Whose career playoff line is that?
In the playoffs?
Mm-hmm.
Tom Brady.
That would be Peyton Nathaniel Manning.
Okay.
Give you another one. 62.5% completion guy, threw for over 13,000 yards. I believe I might have tipped off who this was.
Who's in the playoffs all the time?
2-to-1 touchdown to interception ratio. 88 touchdowns, 40 interceptions, sacked 81 times.
Was that Tom?
That was Tom Brady.
Okay.
Now, Aaron Rodgers, 65% completion guy, 45 touchdowns to 13 interceptions. I don't know how good at math you are, but that's 3.5 to 1 touchdown to interception ratio, which is double either of the two guys I just said.
Mm-hmm.
And has been sacked 55 times. If you really dig deep into all of these, well, I lost in the playoffs, and there are a lot of these that I could pin them on somebody else. You said Aaron wanted to blame somebody else. I'm going to be honest with you. It's hard for me to look at a game where a guy throws for 350 and 3 and say it was his fault. Had a 102 quarterback rating. Kind of hard for me to say that's your fault.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that was the last loss to Tampa Bay in 21.
Right. That was the Matt LaFleur taking the ball out of Aaron's hands at the end of the game.
Yeah, you remember they got smoked by San Francisco and everybody back in 2020 and everybody talked about that?
Mm-hmm.
Aaron was 31 of 39, 326 yards, 2 touchdowns. Yeah, I don't think that's Aaron's fault. He don't play defense.
Also threw 2 picks.
Did throw 2 picks, you're right. 2 of the 13
he also had
he's ever
3 fumbles in that game.
He did.
So
because he got hit 11 times.
And I get it.
See, does he block for himself?
No, but this is why the detractors always look at it and go, yeah, but there are things in the big games that Aaron can take it should take credit for
and
or
now,
the blame for.
Now I want to draw the parallel that I was trying to get to here. I feel like Aaron Rodgers is looking at the New York Jets the same way Peyton Manning looked at the Denver Broncos. You wanted to blame me. The fan base turned on me because we only won 1 Super Bowl, and it was always somebody else's fault. I'm taking your words and just regurgitating them.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like he's looking at the New York media going, if I do what I did in Green Bay, they'll build a statue of me out in front of this place. And I think it's rejuvenated him. At least that's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping this is not just put on for cameras.
I don't see any other way around it.
And if that's the case, good luck.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't remember who said, I'll have to. Common sense ain't common sense. I think the main argument is if he couldn't win against Jimmy G and Matthew Stafford, then how's he going to beat Pat Mahomes and Joe Burrow?
It's a great question.
I'm not disagreeing with you, but if you're going to take that tact, then quarterback win-loss record is a quarterback stat. If that's how you're going to look, I mean, that's fine. I've always said it should be.
Yeah, absolutely.
I've argued with people about this for what feels like forever. It's not Jimmy G beating Aaron Rodgers. It's the San Francisco 49ers beating the Green Bay Packers.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's where Aaron got. And the more I listen to him talk, the more obvious that's becoming to me. This is we used to call it the Aaron Rodgers FU tour.
Mm-hmm.
That's what he's doing. 1-2 MVPs doing that. This feels like that on steroids.
Absolutely.
And so this is either the greatest social media production that I have ever seen, or there is a lot of merit to what I'm saying here.
There is a lot of merit to what you're saying. Yesterday we did the power rankings of the quarterbacks going into the 2023 season. You had Aaron Rodgers at, 7? I believe Aaron Rodgers was at 7. And I said, I feel like that's low.
Well, he's 10 years older than every guy that's in front of him.
Yeah, but
so there's an injury risk.
When it comes down to winning a game, taking the playoffs this year, you had to win a game. Who would you rather have as your quarterback? I'm taking Aaron Rodgers behind Joe Burrow and Pat Mahomes. End of message, repeat the line. I'm not taking Josh Allen over him. I'm not taking Trevor Lawrence or Justin Herbert or any of the other guys that were on that list. I'm taking Aaron Rodgers. This is a perfect storm for the New York Jets.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you keep saying Tank Spencer, kiss of death, blah, 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 but
well, I mean, because you have the greatest track record of basically anything that you hop on the bandwagon of, that bandwagon immediately explodes. So you do not have a seat on this one.
He's trying to do the Tom Brady thing, and anything short of winning the Super Bowl will be seen as a failure. You know this, right?
That's not as cut and dry. I'm just telling you, that's not as cut and dry as you think. You got to understand, the New York media has been desperate for this team to be relevant for a decade. I mean, this is the team with the longest playoff drought in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sure there will be pundits and people that say it that way. I got a lot of Jet fan friends. This is not – we're not looking at this as Super Bowl or bust. This is – we're relevant.
Mm-hmm.
We're relevant. We've got a lot of young players that we're going to figure out a way to keep together, and Aaron can be the glue for that, and hopefully wins the Super Bowl. And maybe I'm just more rational of a Jets fan than most. It's entirely possible.
Yeah, I feel like I feel like the expectation has been set. Now, when Rob Salah says we have a shot to win a Super Bowl, now that's the expectation. Maybe not this year. That's fine. But next year, you'll be expected to win.
Two things I want to hit in the YouTube comments before we go to break. DNA Tooth Podcast, who is a Packers fan. The problem for us throughout the years wasn't Rodgers. It was the front office and LaFleur. That's why I think the Jets were the perfect, in his mind, were the perfect fit. Because Joe Douglas has shown to be a pretty good GM. Just had one of the best drafts I've ever seen 1 year ago. And so I think that put Aaron's mind to rest. He's also very well thought of around the industry. And they looked at Saleh and went, Saleh's going to handle the defense. And my guy that I trust, the one guy apparently he has trusted offensively his entire time in Green Bay, is the offensive coordinator. That's why the Jets were the perfect fit. The other one was from Kevin the Elder God, our newest member of the House of Reprehensibles. Outside of a Super Bowl, what would you consider a successful season for the Jets? I know my answer.
For me, it would be a playoff win. You get a playoff win, this is a success in year one.
For me, it's degrees of success. And this would be like the gold, silver, bronze for me. Playoff victory is probably my silver. Division title would be my bronze. And then obviously Super Bowl would be my gold. You do any of those three things, I promise you I will not be unhappy.
Mm-hmm.
I might be a little sad because I might go full Brett Favre and go, we're 9-2. We're awesome. It's finally going to happen. And then, so that day might be a little sad.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, this is watching the discrepancy. And I'll go down all of the beat writers I know, Rich Cimini, all those guys, just watching the tenor, the conversations I've had with a lot of these guys. I'm happy right now. I know none of you believe that, and I get that. I'm happy just being relevant. That's how woe-begotten this franchise has been. And for me, it's not this 2 or 3 year period. It's, can Aaron set the franchise on the right trajectory? We've never had a guy like this in the room. Nobody in this building has ever had a quarterback like this. Can you put us on the trajectory to get out of the doldrums of the NFL? If Aaron Rodgers never wins a playoff game and the next quarterback wins a Super Bowl and Aaron was part of the culture building, success.
Mm-hmm.
Other people won't see it that way, but I promise you I will.
Sure. More likely scenario, though, is Aaron Rodgers leaves and you become 2023 Tampa Bay Buccaneers. That's a very likely scenario. By the time you get there, you may not be able to keep on, hold on to all of the pieces because you're going to have to pay Aaron whatever you're going to have to pay him. So,
well, I mean, for me, I'm looking at Aaron as a 2-year fix. You're the one going 3 and 4. I don't see that. I think you got 2 years at $50 million, and then if he has shown what this is, there are a lot of quarterbacks that could potentially be on that market that would find this very attractive.
Mm-hmm. Maybe.
You got to understand.
You got to hit.
You robbed Peter to pay Paul for years.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's where your Bucks Jets analogy misses for me. You were killed against the cap when you brought Tom in. The Jets aren't. They're young. And so when Aaron goes away, you've still got Breece on a rookie deal. You still got Garrett Hall or
Breece Hall.
Breece Hall, Garrett Wilson. I don't know why I combined those into one person. Jermaine Johnson, Sauce Gardner. All these guys are still on a rookie deal. Even at that 3 years that you're talking about, you haven't done that where you're moving all these pieces around. C.J. Mosley will have moved on by then. Carl Lawson is, I'm not going to say have moved on, but you may have replaced him by then.
Mm-hmm.
That's the discrepancy. You're going to have the financial malleability. Tampa Bay went all in.
Yeah, we did.
The Jets have, I'm not going to say this is all in, But I will say they have pushed a lot of their chips to the center. But I don't think even if this doesn't work out that the franchise is just going to be broken on the backside.
I think it'll be exactly what it was this past season. You'll be searching for a quarterback, and we'll see. And the rest of the team might be good, but you're probably going to go right back to being the New York Jets. Enjoy being relevant while you can.
And I'm gonna.
I did.
And I'm gonna.
Absolutely. And no one can blame you for it.
No.
But don't expect that. I would just say, be cautiously pessimistic that this is going to launch the 20-year run of the New York Jets.
Well,
being
please
relevant.
tell me you understand the discrepancy between the Buccaneers roster and the Jets roster.
I do.
Your average age when you signed Tom Brady was 28.9, if I remember. The Jets are just a hair over 25.
I get it.
That's a drastically different salary cap situation than what you were talking about.
Right, but a lot can change in 3 to 4 years is what I'm saying.
And see, for me, this is if I get 2 years, I'm good. At
And
3
I get
to 4,
but you're going to be
I wish
locked
I
in.
could get a sip of that Kool-Aid you're drinking because I am nowhere near that optimistic about this.
Yeah, no, you're gonna get locked into at least 3 years of this. I don't see any other reason, any other way around it, because what was it? The cap hit was like $100 million next year for Aaron Rodgers.
They just have to restructure that.
You restructure it and add another year onto it. I'm sure. I feel certain that's how that's going to go. But we can talk about that when it gets closer to time for him signing the extension. Which, if this thing is moderately successful and you do what I said you were going to do, win a playoff game this year, next year the expectation is make it to the AFC Championship game. If you do that, there's zero reason Aaron Rodgers is walking away, and zero reason the New York Jets fans are going to want him to walk away, or the front office is going to want him to walk away. You want to squeeze every ounce of relevancy you can out of Aaron Rodgers, and you should.
Yeah, I'm good with all that.
Because you've earned it. You have suffered
many years,
many
tears.
seasons with paper bags over your head, hoping, hey, maybe this is the year that we're going to get Trevor Lawrence, and then
Zach Wilson.
Nope. Poop's right in your punch bowl. That's New York Jets fandom. You know that. I know that. Carolina Panthers fans know it too. They've lived through the same damn thing.
My punch bowl has been pooped in many, many times.
This is the Sportsocracy, and it is ESPN Asheville.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Partly cloudy with light winds tonight and a low dropping to 51. After a sunny start to Thursday, there may be a shower thunderstorm moving in later in the afternoon with a high near 78 and a few more showers and storms for Thursday evening with an overnight low of 53. On Friday, expect sunshine and a high of 74. As far as the Memorial Day weekend, a few showers and thunderstorms may pop up on Saturday and Sunday. Otherwise, a mix of clouds and sun with highs in the low to mid 60s and scattered thunderstorms on Memorial Day with a high of 73. I'm Jeff Marr from the Weather Channel.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic's time ago, 26 westbound between Fanning Bridge Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway. An accident Patton Avenue near Old Haywood Road in the Malvern Hills area. Long Shoals Road westbound near Calm Water Drive, an accident. Right lane closed. Near Avery Creek, Bavard Road north and southbound approaching Long Shoals Road is slow. Sweeten Creek Road northbound approaching Mills Gap Road is slow. I'm Lee Benfield with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by eBay Motors. You do anything to keep your vehicle happy. Let's make sure it stays running smoothly. With eBay Guaranteed Fit, the right parts are just a click away. When you see the green check, you know that part will fit. Get the right parts at the right prices. ebaymotors.com. Let's ride. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
When you open your hopper, you don't fill it with just any hardwood pellets, right? You fill it with Kingsford 100% hardwood blend pellets. Made right here in the USA with North American ingredients and a 100% natural hardwood blend, Kingsford pellets can be used on any pellet grill and add delicious smoky flavor to any meal. Kingsford's the name you trust for the low and slow cooking you crave. So look for Kingsford 100% hardwood blend pellets. Kingsford.com.
Breathe easier in your home with Zero Res Air Duct Cleaning. It's the only company I trust to get my home insanely clean. Right now, mention ESPN Asheville, and you'll get $30 off your next air duct cleaning. Use promo code AIR30 when scheduling online at ZeroResAsheville.com.
Tired of getting dinged by monthly fees on your checking account? You need Simple Checking from Home Trust Bank.
With Simple Checking, you get all the essential checking services for free, including 100% online access and a free Visa debit card. It's everything you need from a checking account, but no hoops, no surprises, no monthly fees. Stop by today or call 800-627-1632. Simple Checking at Home Trust. Ready for what's next. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Since man created roads, they've been looking for ways to get off-road and vehicles to take them there. That's where Outlaw Off-Road comes in. A premier off-road center for Jeeps, trucks, and SUVs with a complete lineup of off-road and overland services, including maintenance and repair to make your vehicle all that it can be. Check out their location right here in Western North Carolina at 85 Avery Creek Road. Call them today at 828-974-8480 or visit them on the web at theoutlawoffroad.com.
Real estate isn't about properties, it's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt Zach with eXp Realty, your native realtor serving all of Western North Carolina. I will work hard for you, and I believe in doing the right thing every time. I market each of my listings to reach out-of-town buyers. I use a professional photographer and drone video on every single listing, as well as collaborate with agents across the country to find your buyer. Check me out online at clarissasellswnc.com or give me a call at 828-774-6343. It would be my pleasure to assist you through the real estate process.
On the weird scale, there's Vegas, there's Florida, and there's Asheville. Let's get weird, Asheville.
Let's go to Duluth, Minnesota for today's weird story. As yes, this is there are crimes involved in this, but this is just extremely weird because put yourself in the situation of you are renting an apartment. You're renting an apartment and you live in the same. So you've got the downstairs of a house or a condo or whatever. Your landlord owns the upstairs, and they have the main part of the house. It's a very common arrangement. Now, most interesting part of this to me is imagine being woken up at 4 a.m., hearing loud noises coming from the landlord. Who do you complain to at that point? Because at 4 a.m. on May the 18th, the resident of the downstairs portion of this condominium was awoken to 37-year-old Travis Carlson very angry about something. They were awoken at 4 a.m. to the sound of breaking glass and furniture hitting the floor and doors slamming, going in and out of the house, just this big ruckus going on.
So we got a full-on slobber knocker.
Well, Travis Carlson, from what I'm led to believe by the story, lives alone. So there was no fighting with someone else. This was just something. Maybe he was watching the NBA playoffs or got really ticked off about something. Maybe the Twins lost that night. I don't know, since they're in Minnesota. But whatever it was, he starts trashing his house. Now, then there comes a knock on the door a few moments later, where, as described here by the tenant of the house, Travis politely said, "The house is on fire." And so they flee. Well, they try to piece together what happened, and as they flee the house, the tenant realizes that this was no accident, because amongst all of the breaking of things going on upstairs, there was one song that was playing over and over and over on a loop on the Bluetooth speaker or whatever.
We Can't Stop the Fire.
Damn right. It was Billy Joel's "We Didn't Start the Fire" was playing on a loop as this guy was setting fire to the house. Do you know how he did it? He went outside and he drilled a hole in his gas tank and filled up a whole bunch of canisters and then took it inside the house and just strode gasoline all over the place and just set the fire.
Yeah, that doesn't work.
No, it doesn't. If you're going to do that, I mean, don't do crimes first off. But if you're going to do that, make sure that there's no witnesses, because I feel like that's pretty damning to your claim that I didn't start the fire when clearly you were celebrating the fact that you were starting a fire.
No doubt the song was damning. The gasoline makes it very easy for a fire investigator to go, that looks like accelerant. And that is not something that you just have in your living room because it's Tuesday.
There was a hole drilled into the truck's gas tank. There were several lids to gas cans laying around the truck out in the driveway. The complaint also notes that green liquid lines from a burned accelerant stained several pieces of furniture in the apartment. Carlson found the next day with fresh burn injuries on his arms and legs, so clearly you can't say I didn't have anything to do with it. If convicted, he could face up to 20 years in prison.
Stuff and stuff, history and stuff. My story also has to do with roommates.
Okay.
It's from the great state of Kentucky and the great city of Louisville. You have a spouse and 2 children.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like you, at the very least, are going to understand 64-year-old Clifton Williams' plight, even if you don't agree with what he did about it.
Okay.
Have you ever had leftovers or a specific foodstuff or something that was in your refrigerator and you were looking forward to that all day long, and then you come home and it's not there?
Yes. All of the time. All of the time. Like
Most recent thing that happened with.
One of my favorite restaurants in this town is Vinny's. Vinny's
You've told me about it. I've
Italian
never
restaurant.
eaten there.
Oh, it's so good.
Which is weird because don't I live reasonably close to that.
Yeah, it's
don't I?
on Merriman Avenue.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
live right down the street. I've literally never eaten it.
Yeah. Oh, it's great. It's phenomenal. Their veal parmesan is just to die for.
Okay, I'm going to ask us, before you go any further, I'm going to ask a stupid question. What actually is veal?
It's baby cow.
Okay.
Yeah.
I always thought it had something to do with deer.
No.
It sounds
That's
like
venison.
V words. Yes, English, not great at it. Sorry.
The veal parmesan there is just fantastic. Served with, like authentic Italian spaghetti, and the veal is all hammered out, and it's fried, and it's got it's so good. All of it. So that's my favorite meal. And I can never eat the whole thing because, the veal is about as big as the plate when it comes out. So I always take some home for later. And so the last time we went, I was looking forward to it all day long. Like, they can do whatever they want for dinner. Whatever she's cooking, going to be fine with me because I'm going to have my Vinny's leftovers. And get home, the Vinny's box is gone. And I looked at her, and she looked at me, and she immediately got that look on her face like, oh, snap.
Uh-oh.
I done messed up, Aaron. And I'll be honest with you. I glanced in the direction of the gun cabinet for a second. No, of course, never would ever I think about doing that, but come on.
Well,
That was mine.
Well, 64-year-old Clifton Williams, he got everywhere that you just said, only he followed through with it.
Oh, no.
Because he had a roommate, and apparently there was a fracas after his roommate ate the last Hot Pocket. Hold on.
It's a big difference.
100%. I want to know, at what point in a 64-year-old man's life are you angry enough about a Hot Pocket to shoot your roommate in the buttocks as he was trying to leave? The victim then traveled a few blocks to get help, was taken to the University of Louisville Hospital to be treated for non-life-threatening injuries. Williams is being charged with assault. Has been ordered to have no contact with the victim, and his bond is set at $7,500.
Hot Pocket.
Okay. What is the line in a food stuff that you can get legit big boy angry? I don't know where it is. I know it's not Hot Pocket.
No, definitely not Hot Pocket.
First of all, Hot Pocket, and look, I've eaten maybe 1,000 of them in my life. They're a delectable treat. I have no qualms, especially the pizza one.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know if there is another Hot Pocket, but there really, for me, doesn't need to be. Pepperoni pizza, Hot Pocket, end of message, repeat the line. Where's the line? I mean, you never shoot anybody, but where do you get legit angry?
I would say if it's close to your favorite food on the planet or something like that, or I don't know, did you take leftovers of like one of those the $20,000 burger? You remember when we did that story?
Yes.
It came with like gold flecks in it and stuff. maybe that. I don't know. I mean, it's pretty ridiculous that you would get so angry that you would even think about shooting someone over the food. But, I've tried to wrestle with my anger for years, and I feel like I showed great restraint in the Vinny scenario.
Shockingly enough, I don't have anger. I don't get – I'm baseline angry all the time.
Okay.
But I never really get more than that. Nothing – have you ever seen me get mad?
No, I've heard stories.
Yeah, it ain't great. You see Jeremy you see old red-faced Jeremy, we should go.
Mm-hmm. I've seen perturbed Jeremy. I've seen irritated Jeremy. I don't know that I've ever seen blind, mad, angry bull.
There's only
in
a handful of ways to do it, and it's usually you have wronged someone that has broken that outer layer of this.
If it's a special food, like, I don't know, say Grandma passed away, and you had, like, one of Grandma's casseroles from,
Oh, you're catching hands.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no doubt. You're catching hands, though.
I've been saving that
you.
for a special occasion, like Grandma's chicken casserole or whatever. I've been saving that for years in the freezer, and then I get home one day and it's gone. And my wife's like, it was covered in, ice, and so I just threw it out. Like, that could have been saved. Might have taken a lot, but I could have saved that. That might be an actual reason to get angry. I'm thinking the maddest I ever got at myself over a food stuff was when I was living away from home. I was working in Memphis. It's a long way away from home. Mama makes, of course, it's this time of year, as she did this past weekend, Mama makes a whole run of brand new strawberry jelly.
And Mama Spencer can cook her took-us off, from what I have been told.
So she sends me a little care package out in Memphis, and I get a box that's got the jelly in it, fresh homemade. Well, I got one use out of it, and then the next time I went to go have, strawberry jelly on my toast, I dropped it in the floor, and the glass jar busted. And so now what am I going to do? I did the only rational thing that you could do. I scooped up what I could and put it back in another jar and picked out the little glass pieces. Now, did I have several occasions over the next few weeks where I was just, happy eating my toast and then all of a sudden get a glass shard in the roof of my mouth that I missed? Yes, but it was worth it.
So basically you ate glass. That's what you're telling me.
I did.
I've only had one scenario, and it obviously didn't get to this level, but back in my college days, had roommates, and I had found a very good chicken wing place. I love spicy food, and I had some leftover very hot wings.
Okay.
I go to have them for lunch. I don't remember what class it was now. I got to have them after lunch. They're not there. And I go on just an unholy tirade, at which point Scott, which was the name of one of my roommates at the time, said, I don't know how to tell you this because I'd already gone on the tirade. I'd already, thrown a couple things. I'd already shown my whole arse. And he said, you don't remember last night, do you? Jeremy had, 20-ish domestic lights and polished off the wings.
Mm-hmm.
Completely forgot. And I blamed it on everybody in the room.
You guys ate my food.
You did it. No, that was drunk Jeremy. Well, when the next time I see him, which will probably be in about 4 hours, we're going to have a serious talk.
Mm-hmm. Stephen Tao, that is my life. Says I get mad every time I want a bowl of cereal and I pull an empty milk jug out of the fridge. Yeah. You live with two 11-year-old children, you're going to do that more times than you want.
Stephen Tao also said that, so Jeremy's Bruce Banner. That's my secret, Cap. I'm always angry. He ain't wrong.
And you're not going to like him when he's angry.
It's true. You won't like me when I'm angry.
This is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM and 1400.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic stop and go 26 westbound between Hendersonville Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway near Airport Road. In this stretch, a disabled vehicle has the right lane closed. An accident on Patton Avenue near Old Haywood Road in the Malvern Hills area. Long Shoals Road westbound stop and go at Calm Water Drive due to an accident. The right lane blocked. Sardis Road northbound slow between Bavard Road and Sand Hill Road. I'm Lee Benfield with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Staples Stores. Now during Staples Small Business Deal Days, when rewards members spend $100 or more, they get $20 back in rewards, plus another $10 back with a Staples Connect app. Rewards offer ends May 27th, limit 1, redeemable in-store only. Save big for your business at Staples.
The Dell Technologies Summer Sale event starts now with limited quantity deals on select performance PCs with Windows 11 Pro. Save on select Vostro laptops with built-in security features and select Latitude laptops with enhanced privacy, collaboration, and connectivity. Save on essential accessories, plus free shipping and special financing with Dell Business Credit. Dell Technologies recommends Windows 11 Pro for business. Call a Dell Technologies advisor at 877-ASK-DELL. That's 877-ASK-DELL. Offered to business customers by WebBank, who determines qualifications for and terms of credit.
Great, it's yours. See you then.
Nathan's Tiki-themed bar is swimming in end-of-year party bookings.
Where can I find that many servers? They want headlamps? And I'm gonna need to find a band.
He needs caterers to navigate the rising tide.
No, Mario, not your cousin's cover band.
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. We instantly connect you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
iHeart gives you access to the hottest music, events, and deals. But on June 1st, we're giving you access like never before. It's iHeartRadio Access Day, our 24-hour way of saying thank you for listening. Go to iHeartRadioAccessDay.com today.
You could be spending Meet Friday with me, Dan Patrick, and the Danettes for a VIP experience in the Man Cave, all part of iHeartRadio Access Day.
Head to iHeartRadioAccessDay.com to register to receive reminders for when experiences like this and more go live on June 1st.
Spring in the South means the return of Atlanta Braves baseball.
There's a liner out towards center field. It will lay down. Here comes Ronald. Braves win it.
The 2023 Braves load up for another huge season.
The Braves play here on ESPN Asheville.
Rogue Combat Club, Asheville's home for comprehensive martial arts training, has a goal for our community, one that's stronger, more fit, and unwavers in its support of one another. Rogue Combat Club's instructors have competed at the highest levels and offer classes for everyone from young children to adults in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Muay Thai, and wrestling. Rogue Combat Club classes can help you boost your self-confidence and self-defense skills while weeding out the egos and intimidation found at other gyms. Join today at RogueCombatClub.com.
It's time to discover the convenience and time savings of contact-free pickup with Ingles Curbside. Just visit shop.ingles-markets.com or download the app. And your Ingles personal shopper gets to work with specialized training on how to select the freshest items for a pre-scheduled pickup. They'll even text you with updates. You pull up to a designated space and your personal shopper delivers your items right to your vehicle. Fresh, fast, and affordable. It's all in the bag. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Partly cloudy with light winds tonight and a low dropping to 51. After a sunny start to Thursday, there may be a shower thunderstorm moving in later in the afternoon with a high near 78 and a few more showers and storms for Thursday evening with an overnight low of 53. On Friday, expect sunshine and a high of 74. As far as the Memorial Day weekend, a few showers and thunderstorms may pop up on Saturday and Sunday. Otherwise, a mix of clouds and sun with highs in the low to mid 60s and scattered thunderstorms on Memorial Day with a high of 73. I'm Jeff Marr from the Weather Channel.
This is your Time Saver Traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic stop and go 26 westbound between Hendersonville Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway. Near Airport Road in this stretch, a disabled vehicle has the right lane closed. An accident on Patton Avenue near Old Haywood Road in the Malvern Hills area. Long Shoals Road westbound stop and go at Calm Water Drive due to an accident. The right lane blocked. Sardis Road northbound slow between Bavard Road and Sand Hill Road. I'm Lee Benfield with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by ComparionInsurance.com.
Hi, we're Comparion Insurance Agency. Never heard of us? We know. But to help it stick that our local agents are insurance experts, we're going to say local agent 3 times in the next 5 seconds. Local agent, local agent, local agent.
Find us at ComparianInsurance.com.
Saturday, June 3rd, Just Running presents the Flying Squirrel 10-miler. It's a 10-mile road race benefiting the Southern Appalachian Highland Conservancy. You'll run through a challenging and scenic course that takes runners on a mix of pavement and gravel roads through North Asheville. You can share your love of running, push your limits, and enjoy Asheville's natural beauty at the 2nd Annual Flying Squirrel 10-miler. For more information and to get signed up, go to justrunning.com. JUS Running.com. Proudly sponsored by iHeartMedia, Asheville.
To some, a baby's babbling doesn't mean much, but it does. Especially if there's no babbling at all. Little to no babbling by 12 months or later is just one of the possible signs of autism in children. Learn more at autismspeaks.org. Brought to you by Autism Speaks and the Ad Council.
At Ingles, whether we're celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park, it's all in the bag. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
At Tyson Furniture, we have a huge selection of furniture, honest values, and great service. We are a big store, and Black Mountain has wonderful restaurants and interesting shops to explore. Visit us at Tyson Furniture in Black Mountain, where beautiful homes begin.
The Sportsocracy.
Let's open up the whole can and kick ass and kill them all. Let the paramedics sort them out.
From the Ingalls Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart radio station.
This is SportsCenter.
He's a degenerate gambler.
You are a smelly pirate
I'm Christine
hooker.
Lisi. Police in Tennessee conducted a welfare check on prison star John Morant today following cryptic messages on his Instagram story account. Officials say Morant's fine, just taking a break from social media. He was suspended from all team activities after a video of him holding a gun circulated on social media May 13th. Panthers captain Alexander Barkov returns from a lower body injury tonight. Game 4 NHL East Final against Carolina. Florida's top line getting a major boost. Barkov 16 points in 15 games this postseason. Clutch on faceoffs. Hockey Hall of Famer and ESPN NHL analyst Chris Chelios.
He does everything great. He's a solid centerman, offensively, defensively. The captain, the leader. He does it all. And you need depth. And he's part of that depth and a very important part of it. But it's good news for Florida that he's back. Bad for Carolina.
Florida advances to the Stanley Cup Final with a win. New direction of the Ravens offense sitting just fine with quarterback Lamar Jackson. After his first practice with new Ravens OC Todd Monken, Jackson says he's pleased with the direction of the new scheme.
It's Wrangler season out there. Open roads, endless horizons. Shop Wrangler.com for new denim styles made for your next adventure. Wrangler, for the ride of life.
He's a degenerate gambler.
You are a smelly pirate hooker.
And he's cheaper than oxygen.
He's useless.
But somehow, they make it work. Jeremy Green, Tank Spencer. There's no holding back in the Sportsocracy. Presented by Ingalls Supermarkets.
Welcome back into the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. The Sportsocracy heard everywhere on the iHeartRadio app, and you can see us live in the Ingalls studio on YouTube. Just go to thesportsocracy.com, click the live video link, subscribe to the channel, and join us in the chat. If you are just joining us on the program, earlier we were talking about LeBron James and his all-me moment at the end of the Western Conference Finals of talking about whether he's going to retire or not. And then that brought up, oh, do you remember Space Jam? And then we started reminiscing about NBA stars in movies. And so we decided that's going to be today's daily draft. But we're going to do all athletes. Are we doing all athletes, or is this just big four athletes or big three athletes? Baseball, basketball, football, or do we branch this out? Do we include like former athletes who became actors? Like
The Rock is out.
That's what I was going to say.
You can't go The
like
Rock.
Andre
he became
the Giant,
an actor.
like Andre the Giant and Princess Bride.
You can do that one.
Okay, all right. So that might be in consideration here. We're going to go best
I've never
athlete
seen it, so that's not in consideration for me.
with the best role an athlete played in a movie.
And you said I've got first pick.
Yes, you've got first pick.
Are you doing that solely because I don't watch movies and we need to not cull any more of the ones I've seen than?
I feel like this is always a standing rule when we do movies. You're at such a disadvantage because you've seen so few of them that you get first pick. Just to give you the cream of the crop.
I almost want to defer because there's two I want, and I don't know which one you would take.
He's going to defer.
But I'm scared to do that because I'm afraid that your first pick is going to be one of the two that I want. So I'm going to go out on a limb and say that for me, number one is clear. Mm-hmm. Number two is clear as well.
Okay.
I'm going Jesus Shuttlesworth. It's Ray Allen and He Got Game.
Yeah.
Because he was actually an integral part of that movie. It wasn't just like, because a lot of mine are, it's not so much there's cameos, it's just they weren't main characters in the movie. Ray Allen was a main character in that movie, and he was awesome.
He was. He was very good. Okay.
Would you have taken that with one of your first two picks?
Yes, that would have been my first pick.
Okay. I did
if I had first pick, it would have been.
Because if you had taken Ray Allen, I would have reserved the right to just flip the table and say, and the game's over.
It would
because I don't want to play anymore.
Yeah, it would have been Ray Allen and He Got Games, one of my favorite movies. Obviously had Rick Fox in it, had all the the big name coaches at the time were all in the movie. And of course it had Denzel Washington, so it was just phenomenal. Plus, I think that was one of the, I'm not going to say one of the first movies, definitely one of the first movies I ever got to watch with my dad that had nudity in it. And I went, ha ha, I'm a big boy now. I get to watch movies with nudity in it.
Anybody that's watching on the YouTube, if you could cut out that laugh with the "I'm a big boy now," I'm gonna need that, and I promise to use it only for good and not for evil.
Next, the number two for me is, I mean, there's so many in contention here, but I feel like our introduction to Shaquille O'Neal as an actor was phenomenal. And then the rest of the movies that we got from him were terrible.
I thought I could
Except
wait on this.
for his appearance in Grown Ups 2 when he was the cop and he was doing the funny shower scene at the car wash. That and Blue Chips are the two highlights of Shaquille O'Neal's entertainment career. And it's not even close. The whole Shaq Fu era, the Diesel album, Shazam or Kazam was the Genie movie. Steel, the Superman ripoff.
So which Shaquille O'Neal appearance are you taking here?
I'm taking Blue Chips.
That makes me hate you.
Neon Bordeaux was the best character, second to Jesus Shuttlesworth, in a basketball movie played by an actual basketball player.
Fact or fiction, Blue Chips is the best basketball movie ever made.
Fact.
I agree with you wholeheartedly.
And it's not close. Bring me Hoosiers all you want to. And I
Hoosiers
like that
is not
movie.
a basketball movie. Hoosiers is not a basketball movie.
But for how?
Dan Patrick said this earlier today, and I've never agreed with anything he said more. That is a relationships movie that has basketball sprinkled in it.
Oh, this sounds like my for the love of the game argument with Kevin Costner.
And now
that's not a baseball movie. That's a chick flick.
And now here's the thing. I have only seen about 12 minutes of Hoosiers because all of you said, "Oh, you got to watch it. It's so great." And in 12 minutes, I didn't so much as see a basketball, and I went, out. I'm out. Not doing it.
Okay.
Blue Chips was a basketball movie.
Yes, it was.
And not just a total funny aside here. I don't remember if you remember how vulgar that movie was. My mother took me to see that movie in theaters. And I was like 9. And I remember when she bought the tickets, the guy looked at us like,
"Are you sure?"
Wait. And I let it happen. I don't know if he thought I was 13, but I looked 13. I think I was 9. And it was awesome.
Yeah. No, Shaquille O'Neal playing the role of Neon Bordeaux in Blue Chips, I think was the cream of the crop.
It's also the high water mark for Nick Nolte.
Yeah. Yeah.
I couldn't name another
Warrior movie.
I couldn't name another movie he's ever been in.
Did you ever see Warrior? The MMA movie with Tom Hardy and I don't even know the other guy's name.
No, but this is actually one time you have intrigued me about a movie.
Oh, it's phenomenal. It's a MMA movie where the two, like, they're estranged brothers. Their family split up when they were younger, and one went his way with mom, and the other one went his way with dad. And then now they're both in a spot where they're trained fighters, and they get into the same competition, and then, oh, lo and behold, we all know how this ends. They end up fighting for the championship and all of that. Kurt Angle's in it. It was a really good movie. Anyway, my number 2 best role for a pro athlete. This is one of the first comedy movies that I ever saw. And it was hilarious because I knew who this guy was, but I wasn't old enough to enjoy the greatness of Kareem Abdul-Jabbar as Roger Murdoch, in Airplane.
I hate this game.
He was so phenomenal.
I hate this game, and I don't want to play anymore.
He was like, don't tell anybody.
I had 7 roles. You took 2 of them. Kareem was phenomenal. First of all, Airplane is top 5 favorite movies of mine of all time.
Okay.
It's one of the only movies I've watched more than twice. And anytime I see it on the Fire Stick or any of those things, I'm like, yeah. Amy absolutely despised it.
Really?
4 minutes in, she went, this is dumb. She did that with several other movies, too, that are all of that era and of that comedic tenor.
Mm-hmm.
She's hated them all.
So all the Naked Gun movies.
All of them. Yep.
You ever make her watch Hot Shots?
Nope.
With Charlie Sheen?
I've actually never seen Hot Shots.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
Which is
It
weird.
was funny in the 1980s. You watch it now and you go, oh, no wonder he turned into Tiger Blood.
Because he was just doing was he buying rocks from people at the gas station?
No, it was a stupid airplane type, stupid comedy movie.
Well, I mean, stupid comedy movie. A stupid comedy movie is right up my alley. Vast majority of my favorite movies are stupid comedy movies, and many of them star Will Ferrell. I didn't in any way think you were taking Kareem that high. All right, I'm going to take the layup first. It's Michael Jordan in Space Jam.
Okay.
Are you laughing at my selection?
I mean, it was okay.
Michael was fantastic in that movie.
It was all right.
What could have been better? You watched the one with LeBron.
I did, and the original Space Jam, far and away the best thing. I get it. I was a big fan. It brought Looney Tunes back to a whole different level. I just don't. It was fine. I wouldn't say that there was anything about that movie that really made me go, oh, I want to see Michael Jordan in more movies.
Well,
when I saw Blue Chips, I went, yes, I want to see Shaq in all the muvies.
Yeah,
and then Steel came out, and I went, I want to burn down his career right now.
And that got you Shazam, which was horrendous. And I watched every second of it. I watched every second of Steel.
Of course you did.
I did.
Okay.
Look, I thought Michael was good in Space Jam. They didn't need to make another one. And no, I didn't see it. And no, I didn't need to know it was everything that I was told it was.
Mm-hmm.
Would you care to give your LeBron will not be on my on my list of
nowhere near.
There's one that I think I have to take because you'll do it. It's Lawrence Taylor in Any Given Sunday.
Ooh,
I love that movie.
I was gonna go Lawrence Taylor, but not for that one. Lawrence Taylor in The Waterboy was much better.
Oh, I don't agree with you.
He actually played a character in Any Given Sunday, so I'll give you that. But was it really any different than who he was?
No, that's what I loved about it.
When he shows up in The Waterboy and makes a joke about doing crack, that was comedy
hilarious.
Gold.
I will say that was hilarious.
Comedy gold.
But he was more a bit player there.
Yes.
He was actually a legit named character in Any Given Sunday. And that movie was phenomenal. That came on, I think it was HBO.
Mm-hmm.
Amy was asleep, and I was having one of those nights where I couldn't sleep, and it came on at 3 o'clock in the morning, and I went, well, looks like I know what I'm doing the next 2 hours of my life. because I'm going to watch every second of this. And I did.
Okay. My next pick, best roles for athletes in movies. Well, I wouldn't say that this was a great acting performance, but I do have to say that it's one of the most recognizable roles of any movie from the 1980s.
I don't like where this is going.
It was two-time Super Bowl champion John Matuszak in The Goonies as Sloth.
Okay.
You remember? Hey, you guys!
Yeah, no, I work with him every day.
Exactly.
I'm actually convinced that you're related somewhere down the line.
But, I mean, everybody who grew up in our era knows The Goonies, and I was probably 25 years old before I even found out that was a former football player. I never cared who played Sloth in The Goonies. But then when I found out that that was John Matuszak and watched some of the old film from, the John Madden days with the Raiders, I went, that might be one of the best performances I've ever seen.
All right, that's not what I thought you were. I thought you were hinting.
I think I'm going deep divey with the next one. With the rest of this.
Oh, let's go. Because I'm not. One is the two I have left. One is a bit part, but it was hilarious, and it's a movie that probably upset some people. It's okay. It was 40 years ago.
There's so many good little bit parts. I mean, like if you wanted to go with 80s movies, I mean this would be like an honorable mention for me. It's not going to be on my list, but I was thinking of Bubba Smith from the Police Academy movies.
Yes.
I mean, if you weren't terrified as a young kid watching the Police Academy movies with that ginormous human in them, played Hightower in those movies, that was phenomenal. Greatest, one of the I won't say greatest, I will say one of the greatest baseball movies of all time is Major League. And I have to give a tip of the cap to Bob Uecker, former Major League Baseball player, Major League Baseball announcer, for playing Harry Doyle just a bit outside.
I mean, it is in one of our drops.
That's a great role, very memorable, and you can quote all of it.
Oh,
I mean, at least I can. I mean, dynamite drop in, Marty. Those years of broadcast school really paying off.
That is
you can't say GD on the air? Who cares? Nobody's listening anyway.
That is a great movie.
Great.
My final two are bit pieces, and one of them is an athlete that probably nobody listening to the show ever watched play anything. It's Alex Karras's Mongo in Blazing Saddles.
Yes. That was on my list.
I'm not going to lie. I had to audible this because I didn't know that's who that was. The story we told about on Monday about the guy that drove me to the wedding, we call him Mongo because of that role in that movie, and I just learned that was Alex Karras.
Mm-hmm.
The other one is Mike Tyson in The Hangover. There is nobody better that you could have picked for that role. If you could have picked every person on the planet Earth, Mike Tyson was 1, 2, and 4.
100%.
I feel as though I have represented myself well.
You did very well. This is the best movie draft you've ever done.
I feel as though I represented myself well in this here movie draft.
You did very, very well. Now, the last one I'm going to throw out to you is a recommendation for a newer movie. And I actually feel like this professional athlete did a hell of a job with his role. It's the movie called Hustle with Adam Sandler. Juancho Hernan Gomez plays the star of the movie. It's all about Adam Sandler is a scout. He finds this kid from Spain who nobody knows. It's that usual story of I'm going to break through. I get fired by my NBA franchise, and now I've got the guy. It's like the scout, the Steve Nebraska story with that 90s movie with the Yankees. And what was his name? Brendan Fraser playing the pitcher. Same kind of story. He finds this, kid from Spain. He can really ball out, and he gets him his shot in the NBA. It's a great movie. Juancho Hernan Gomez was fantastic as somebody who's not an actor. He's an actual basketball player. He's not a star basketball player, but still, he was pretty good in that movie. There are so many that you could go down on that. I mean, Derek Jeter and the other guys. The Yankee Clipper.
If we're going undrafted free agent, I have one.
Okay.
Kevin Garnett and Uncut Gems.
That wasn't bad. Not bad.
And now I'm a little biased. The reason I didn't take that was because I just saw that movie like 2 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
It was another one that I saw after 17 Domestic Lights. Amy was asleep, and I went, well, I could do worse. And actually, I liked it.
Undrafted free agent. Oh. Cam Neely, a hockey player.
Oh,
in
yeah.
Dumb and Dumber.
Yeah.
Where he played Seabass. Kick his ass, Seabass!
Yeah, I considered Dan Marino in Ace Ventura, but I the only thing I've ever seen in that movie was that clip. So I couldn't in clear conscience take that.
Right.
Although it was funny.
Right. So many bit parts that could be added into this. Let's see here. Have we had any big ones thrown out in the chat?
Jonathan
here?
Welch said Tom Brady is himself in 80 for Brady, and I ignored it because,
as
Justin Burton said, Brady's won enough.
He's not wrong.
Did you watch that?
I did.
Ugh.
I did.
You lose me at starring Jane Fonda. Out.
I can always
tell
get
me
past.
that you could literally put up on a marquee starring Jane Fonda and gives you the winning lottery numbers for the rest of your life, and I would still turn around and walk the other way.
I can get past the Jane Fonda thing. It's Sally Field.
I love Sally Field.
Well, she's in it.
Love Sally Field.
Right. And Lily Tomlin, fantastic actress. Very funny. I watched it. Me and the wife sat down and watched it. Tom was good in it. It was a funny story.
See, and
what makes it better is it was a true story.
You want me to tell you? And there were many times that I knew Amy was who I was destined to be with, and I cannot for the life of you tell. It was some rom-com that had just come out that like every woman I knew was rushing to watch, and I pulled it up on our television, and I said, "Do you want to watch that?" And literally, I've heard no less than 4 of her friends say, "Oh, it was great, I loved it," and I knew she had heard that.
Mm-hmm.
And she looked at me, straight-faced as humanly possible. I can't say verbatim what she said, but it was basically something to the effect of, "No." There were a couple of obscenities thrown in there, and I went, "Marry this woman."
DNA Tooth Podcast says Tank has seen every movie released. You have to go pretty deep to find one that I haven't seen.
Yeah, when I threw out Hulk Hogan and No Holds Barred and he was breaking down other people in that movie, I went, I am at a serious disadvantage here.
I went, oh, yeah, Thunder Lips. Oh, wait, no, that was Hulk Hogan in Rocky.
And then I went, uh-oh, I'm in trouble.
I have seen a lot of – I'm one of those people that I sit there and I look at the menu on Netflix or the home – of my smart TV, just scrolling through going, seen it. Everything that's ever recommended for me. It's hard for me to find one that I go, oh, I haven't seen that. Let's do that.
And all I ever do is Naked and Afraid. Let's go. I have seen every episode of that show ever made. And now I'm watching the derivatives.
You are in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville. We'll be right back.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic stop and go 26 westbound between Airport Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway. 26 eastbound stop and go between the French Broad River and the Blue Ridge Parkway. Near Avery Creek, Boulevard Road north and southbound approaching Long Shoals Road is slow. Near Fletcher, Hendersonville Road northbound approaching Howard Gap Road is slow. Again, Hendersonville Road northbound slows approaching Long Shoals Road. Hendersonville Road north and southbound near I-40, traffic is slow. Sweeten Creek Road north and southbound approaching Mills Gap Road slow. I'm Lyndon Fuel with your time saver traffic.
This report is sponsored by Dell Technologies.
The Dell Technologies Summer Sale event starts now with savings on select Vostro and Latitude PCs with Windows 11 Pro. Plus, save on select monitors and accessories and get free shipping on everything. Dell Technologies recommends Windows 11 Pro for business. Call it Dell Technologies Advisor at 877-ASK-DELL.
When you open your hopper, you don't fill it with just any hardwood pellets, right? You fill it with Kingsford 100% hardwood blend pellets. Made right here in the USA with North American ingredients and a 100% natural hardwood blend, Kingsford pellets can be used on any pellet grill and add delicious smoky flavor to any meal. Kingsford's the name you trust for the low and slow cooking you crave. So look for Kingsford 100% hardwood blend pellets. Kingsford.com.
Have your outdoors and running water too. With Luxury Lou, the tasteful solution to portable bathroom rentals. Family-owned and local, Luxury Lou Rental provides modern bathrooms on the go with running water, AC and heating, flushable toilets, and elegant designs. Luxury Lou's are perfect for weddings, corporate events, remodels, and more. Don't leave your well-dressed guests to use a dirty porta-potty John.
Ew.
Turn to Asheville natives. Luxury Lou. Visit LuxuryLousRental.com.
Grab your shades, your flip-flops, and your free iHeartRadio app for the unofficial start of summer 2023. No matter where you go this summer, your favorite radio station, the music you love, and the best podcasts in the world will be along for the adventure. Download the free iHeartRadio app today.
Over 50,000 police officers are assaulted each year. Help police by not escalating. Address any complaints after the encounter. Comply now, complain later. Keep everybody safe. This message brought to you by the National Police Association. Learn more at nationalpolice.org.
Running a small business is no small task. At Home Trust Bank, we work hard to prepare businesses for whatever tomorrow may bring. Your dreams are our business, and we have local experts who can help you plan for a successful future. Dependable guidance you need, and service you'll appreciate. At Home Trust Bank, we take your small business banking personally. Visit your local Home Trust branch or anytime at htb.com. Member FDIC.
It's time to discover the convenience and time savings of contact-free pickup with Ingles Curbside. Just visit shop.ingles-markets.com or download the app. And your Ingles personal shopper gets to work with specialized training on how to select the freshest items for a pre-scheduled pickup. They'll even text you with updates. You pull up to a designated space and your personal shopper delivers your items right to your vehicle. Fresh, fast, and affordable. It's all in the bag. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
It is the Sportsocracy, and it's time for the most important message of the day, Jeremy.
Don't do crimes.
Yeah, and today's story, I'm at a bit of a conundrum here. There are separate parties involved. There was a dispute, and I want us to kind of workshop this because I'm trying to figure out who's the jackwagon in this scenario.
Okay.
All right, so this is from Florida. Of course, as all great crime stories happen. This is in the town of Plantation, Florida, in Broward County. 71-year-old Art Cosgrove got roughed up the other day by some, I don't know what to call these guys. They're the company that you call to remove nuisance animals. Right?
Varmints.
Well, this is a case
birds.
Of, yes.
That's the definition of a nuisance animal.
This is birds. All right, so Art Cosgrove and his wife, Art is 71 years old, and he's retired, and you look at this guy, and he has got to be like, I'm thinking back in the day he was R. Lee Ermey from Full Metal Jacket. He was the drill sergeant in Full Metal Jacket. This guy looks like in his prime he was yoked and something to be feared. Very tall guy. You can tell there was a muscular build under there, and he's got that flat top hairdo that looks like he's a former Marine. Never a former Marine. I apologize. Now, this guy and his wife, they just hang around the house. They're both retired, 71 years old, and they like to feed the ducks. Well, the rest of the neighborhood hates the ducks. So the rest of the neighborhood, I guess the HOA gets together and they call these guys to come and remove the ducks from the neighborhood. While doing so, Art got really ticked off. Tried to get the guys to stop. They wouldn't. He got a little aggressive, and he tried to take the ducks that had already been captured out of the back of their trailer, where the ones that they had gathered, he was like, those are my ducks. I enjoy feeding the ducks. You're going to let them out.
MR ducks.
Yeah. So the guys responded with violence. He got punched in the face. He got thrown on the ground. There was at one point they were hitting him with a rake. One of the guys was hitting him with a rake. He had cuts on his neck and his head, and he ended up with a big old shiner from the punch, the right cross that he took to the face. When the cops came, he basically told the cops, you tell them to come back, and they're going to get more. I don't care. I'm going to jail. These are my ducks. Well, as you dig into the story a little bit, he starts telling that he goes through 300 pounds of birdseed every month to feed the ducks in his neighborhood.
Do you feed ducks birdseed?
I guess.
I thought ducks ate bread.
I don't know. In the TV story, it looked like he was putting out that like deer food, like corn and stuff, so squirrel food, whatever you want to call it. So the ducks come to his property to eat. He loves the ducks. Now, who's at fault in this scenario? Is Mr. Cosgrove the bigger jackwagon because he's that guy in the neighborhood that won't stop feeding the darn ducks that come and poop on my yard and on the street and cause problems and block traffic and all of the things?
I live in a condo. I don't care about any of those things.
Or is it the maybe overreaction of the guys who were trapping the ducks to attack a 71-year-old man?
I'm going the latter. I don't care about the guy feeding the ducks. Feed the ducks.
I think I'm going the former.
Feed the ducks.
I really think I'm going the former. I mean, obviously, you don't hit elderly people. I don't care how yoked and how angry they could be. You walk away from that scenario, but
who cares? Feed the ducks. It gives the man some joy.
There are people in that neighborhood going, did you see Art got beat up on TV? That's great.
Feed the ducks. No problem.
I think you would have a different story if the ducks were invading your property.
I don't have any. Well, I do, but I don't live on it. So actively, don't care.
Hey,
I don't even mow my own grass.
Perfect scenario. You remember when we were doing the show from the bunker?
Yes.
And neighbor down the road, when you were up on the mountain, kept having the dog get out? And the dog kept coming up to your property and being aggressive and barking and all that?
Oh, yeah. I did not like that dog. No, I did not like that dog.
See, I look at that scenario kind of similar of Art is the jerk in this scenario. After they've told you we don't want the ducks around, you go through 300 pounds of birdseed every month to make sure that the nuisance shows up for the neighbors?
Okay. All right, I'll give you that. I did not like that dog. Yeah. That dog was very aggressive. And that dog did not want none. My story is from Massachusetts about a father and son. Ali Jafar, 63 years old, 29-year-old Yusuf Jafar. They have quite possibly one of the most complex schemes I've ever seen in my life that defrauded the federal government for more than $20 million in lottery winnings. They also dodged more than $6 million in federal taxes by lying on their tax returns. Here's how they did it. From at least 2011 through at least June of 2020, the defendants conspired with others known and unknown to launder the funds from the Massachusetts State Lottery. So they would buy tickets. People would win in the Massachusetts State Lottery to avoid paying child support payments, back taxes, outstanding taxes, things like that. They would do what is basically called a 10% scheme. They would take 10% off what they were going to be paid, pay these people cash, and then they would file the tickets themselves. How many tickets do you think these people claimed with the Massachusetts State Lottery over the course of 10 years?
200,000.
You're awful at these games. It's over 14,000 tickets.
Okay.
How did you not catch on to this quicker? Like, you're either the luckiest group of people on the planet or something's up. Nobody wins this often. I don't care how much you play the lottery. They have now been convicted and are facing, the son is facing 50 months in a federal institution, while the father has been sentenced to 5 full years. And they have to pay $6 million in restitution and forfeit their profits from the scheme. So all the lottery winners made their money, and you got hosed.
Crime doesn't pay.
No.
Don't do crimes.
Now, I'm going to ask a stupid question here. I understand why the defrauding the tax returns, I understand why that's a crime.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not 100% sure I understand why the other side of this is a crime. So somebody wins at the lottery. They give you the ticket. I mean, I guess you're defrauding them in taxes?
Mm-hmm.
Is that it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. At the end of the day, for me, I'm looking at it going, the government's still paying the same amount that they would have paid in the first place, so I don't really think they defrauded them out of anything.
Well, obviously, you're skirting the taxes. It would be extra taxes if you claimed it
and if
4
they
times
had,
or whatever.
Well, yeah. And they, I guess, okay.
Yeah.
All right, I guess I get it.
Yeah. You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. We'll take a quick break. When we come back,
we got a real funny there's one team in the NFL that they just can't seem to get out of their own way. And it doesn't matter what happens. And there's actually 2 layers to this story.
And the hits just keep on coming.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Partly cloudy with light winds tonight and a low dropping to 51. After a sunny start to Thursday, there may be a shower thunderstorm moving in later in the afternoon with a high near 78 and a few more showers and storms for Thursday evening with an overnight low of 53. On Friday, expect sunshine and a high of 74. As far as the Memorial Day weekend, a few showers and thunderstorms may pop up on Saturday and Sunday. Otherwise, a mix of clouds and sun with highs in the low to mid 60s and scattered thunderstorms on Memorial Day with a high of 73. I'm Jeff Marr from the Weather Channel.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Driving slow, 240 westbound between Charlotte Street and Montford Avenue. 240 eastbound slow between Tunnel Road and Exit 8. Future, 26 westbound slowing near Broadway Street. 26 westbound slowing between Airport Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway. 26 eastbound delays between I-40 and Brevard Road near Fletcher. Hendersonville Road northbound approaching Fanning Bridge Road is slow. Sweeten Creek Road north and southbound approaching Mills Gap Road slow. Near Avery Creek, Brevard Road north and southbound near Long Shoals Road is slow. Haywood County in the Waynesville area, US 74 eastbound crawling between Hyatt Creek Road and Russ Avenue due to an accident. I'm Lyndon Fuel with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Staples Stores. Now during Staples Small Business Deal Days, when rewards members spend $100 or more, they get $20 back in rewards, plus another $10 back with a Staples Connect app. Rewards offer ends May 27th. Limit 1, redeemable in-store only. Save big for your business at Staples.
Only iHeartRadio gives you access to all of your favorite radio stations.
Rover's Morning Glory.
It's The Woody Show.
It's Elliot in the Morning.
All of the once-in-a-lifetime events.
iHeartRadio Music Festival.
Woo! All of the best free curated playlists.
It's everything that rocks.
All of the great podcasts for every interest.
This is Freddie Prinze Jr. from the Wrestling with Freddie podcast.
All of the mind-blowing contests.
$20,000. Awesome.
All of your favorite superstars.
This is Dave Grohl from the Foo Fighters.
Best of all, it doesn't cost a thing. Download the absolutely free iHeartRadio app now.
Hello there. My name is Seychelle, and what makes the Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich original to me is the punch of flavors that's unlike any other. You get the crispy tenderness of the chicken and that hint of sourness from the pickles. Ta-da!
Hey, I'm Juan, and what makes the Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich original to me is you know you're gonna get chicken that's crispy, golden, and juicy. This is the gold standard of chicken sandwiches.
Order the original Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich on the Chick-fil-A app today. Real customers paid for their testimonials.
At Ingles, we are proud to introduce our all-new curbside service. Just visit shop.ingles-markets.com or download the app to order, and our friendly staff will bring your groceries right to your car and have you ready to go in no time. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
Since man created roads, they've been looking for ways to get off-road and vehicles to take them there. That's where Outlaw Off-Road comes in. A premier off-road center for Jeeps, trucks, and SUVs with a complete lineup of off-road and overland services, including maintenance and repair to make your vehicle all that it can be. Check out their location right here in Western North Carolina at 85 Avery Creek Road. Call them today at 828-974-8480 or visit them on the web at theoutlawoffroad.com.
I believe real estate isn't about properties. It's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt Zach with eXp Realty, serving all of Western North Carolina. Navigating the home buying and selling journey can feel overwhelming at times, and that's why having an agent who cares about you and your needs is key. I'm a native of Western North Carolina, and I close over a home a week. I'm an expert in the market, pricing my sellers correctly to net you the most money, and working as a skilled negotiator for my buyers. Please give me a call today at 828-774-6343 to set up a complimentary market analysis.
The Sportsocracy.
That is some good, clean family fun there, eh, Kai?
Back here in the Ingles studio on ESPN Asheville, the Washington Commanders. They just can't seem to get this thing right. So we go through all of the years of Daniel Snyder just refusing to change the name of the team. Not even going to consider it, not even planning for it. Then finally that all comes to a head as he's trying to save face as the worst owner in the NFL. In the worst.
Can we did changing the name buy him even a day of good graces?
No. Nobody ever looked at that and went, "Oh, Dan Snyder's a good guy now." No, that never happened. It took the focus off for a little while. I mean, we had some fun with what's the name going to be, what should the name be, all of that. In the end, they got it wrong. They went with Washington Commanders, came up with a crappy logo and crappy uniforms, and they have punted this thing at every possible turn. And now you have the problem that we talked about when they were doing the name change has bit them in the keister once again.
And we have one of these from Soaring Eagle.
I'm your huckleberry.
Someone already applied for the Commanders trademark, and the Commanders may legally have to change their name. Okay, so the latter part of that is an absolute worst-case scenario, and I have yet to find anybody that thinks that's actually going to happen.
That's not going to happen.
The more likely is that they, and I cannot remember the guy's name.
Martin McCauley.
Martin McCauley. He has said, I will give them whatever I want. It is a little strange that the trademark office turned them down for that.
Not so
I mean,
much.
if he was saying that I will give it to them, the bigger part is the existence of the Commanders Classic.
Yeah, but the trademark, the trademark entity, that's paper pushing, and I don't feel like they take into account, oh, well, so-and-so owns this and says he'll give it up, so we're just going to approve the thing. I don't think that ever comes into...
In something this big.
Maybe it does.
In something this big, I mean, you're talking a lot.
Maybe.
A lot
Maybe
goes
it
into
does.
this.
They have gone through and they denied the trademark on two reasons. One is the existence of the trademark for the Commanders Classic, which is the annual Army Air Force game.
I cannot believe that they would outright deny Washington Commanders for that.
And then number two is the pending applications filed by Martin McCauley. We gave you the whole story of Martin McCauley and all of the different trademarks that he had bought up because we all knew this was coming. So he bought up or filed for the Washington Red Wolves and the Washington Red Wolf Commanders and the Washington Wolf Commanders and the Washington Space Commanders.
Lot of things.
Yeah, I mean, he just went all out. And there was a lot of attention to him of, you're just doing this for the money. And then he said, no, I'm not. I'm just putting a pin in this for the actual team, and then I'll give them whatever they want. Well, I mean, wouldn't you pull those? I mean, I don't know how this process works, but couldn't you pull the application after you've already submitted it? Like, now that you've got these in the hopper for the Commander's name, well, now you know Washington's going to go after it, so why wouldn't you... why wouldn't you go ahead and pull those trademarks or whatever? Maybe you're concerned that somebody else will swoop in and get it before the team
That
can.
is the more likely.
I'm
shocked we got to this point. Now, especially when it comes to trademark filings and copyright and things like that, the entity with more money is usually who wins.
Mm-hmm.
It does not really matter who was right, who was wrong. You can get into legal battles. Washington's is ultimately going to win this. However, it does bring up something that I have been told from a couple people in the NFL about the Josh Harris group that's buying the team. And I'm going to throw the caveat of everybody I've talked to thinks it ultimately gets done. But there are some red flags with this purchase that are really unsettling.
Like what?
Debt. Debt is a problem. Apparently, the way this group is, and this is just, I am literally just repeating to you what I was told from somebody in the league. The ownership group is spread out over a lot of people. The money comes from a lot of people, and apparently there is a load of debt that doesn't make the NFL feel hunky-dunky. That comes into legit paper pushing of you may have to change how some people's ownership stakes look and have a board of directors and different things that it ultimately probably still gets done. But is it not the most Daniel Snyder thing you've ever seen that between the Brian Davis group and the Josh Harris group, you've now had issues on both sides of this? Now Brian Davis is filing a $500 billion defamation suit because they didn't accept his this is against Bank of America for not communicating his $7.1 billion offer. There's one big problem with that. You know why they didn't communicate it? Because you don't have $7 billion.
Exactly.
I could have made an offer of $40 jillion. I bet Bank of America wouldn't have told him that either. It's everything with this team seems to be, you just can't get anything right. And for the sake of all the Washington football fans, I really hope this next ownership group, it can streamline some of this stuff.
Mm-hmm. It's a problem.
There's not an entity in this entire league that has more issues doing the most mundane things.
This is a problem franchise and has been since Dan Snyder took it over. Hopefully, with the new ownership coming in, there will be many changes. It will run better as a business. You'll no longer have this, joke of the league kind of an attitude that you have toward the Washington Commanders. I'm rooting for a full-on rebranding.
Really?
New ownership comes in. Let's do this again.
I would be shocked if
I
that
would.
happened.
I would as well. I don't think it's going to happen, but I'd like to see it because I don't think it's gone over well. Do you? Do you think the Commander's name has taken hold that anybody cares?
I love the uniforms. You know that. I like the branding. I think it's all good. I just don't know what anything like that's going to change. I mean, you look at the Cleveland Guardians and the Washington Commanders. There are still probably 30% of people that use the old name out of spite.
Absolutely.
Because we're at a point in the world where nobody can agree on anything. And if you don't agree with my opinion, you're an idiot. And if I don't agree with your opinion, you think I'm an idiot. So I just don't know what it's going to do. I don't know what it's supposed to do. I don't know what name you're supposed to give this Washington football team that everybody goes, oh, yeah, that's brilliant. Red Wolves, is that really?
I don't know.
Hunky-dunky? I mean, you and I have been trying to name our expansion teams for our little project that starts next week. I've already thrown out one logo that Tank wouldn't get down with. I was real sad about that, too.
Well, I mean,
he wants a tank. Who's shocked? Tank wants a tank.
Well, of course.
Tank got a tank. And Jeremy's going to get a big mulleted guy with beers in his hands.
It's just how it should be.
It's 100% how it should be.
Just how it should be. I don't think there's a rebranding on the horizon here. This is something that the Washington Commanders, should they keep the name, they're going to be able to get past this, just like the Cleveland Guardians did when they had their problems. Remember, there was a roller derby team that played in Cleveland that was called the Cleveland Guardians, that they had to get over that hump, and they gave them $14 and they went away. And the Josh Harris group will do exactly the same thing with Martin McCauley, and they're not going to have to change the name. Should they? It's a different question. But will they? No. I don't see a major problem with this.
I don't either. I think if this story had come out in September, it probably would never even have been discussed.
No.
But, I mean, this is what happens. You get to this point of the year, and you start doing things like faux expansion NFL franchises and greatest wrestler of all time brackets. These are all things coming in the next month of this here program. And we're going to have just a mess fun with it.
Now, it'd be a different story if Martin McCauley was standing there saying, I'm going to hold this hostage for every penny I can get. But so far, he said he doesn't want the money, that he'll give it up. So we'll see.
That's
However,
one of those I'll believe you when I see it.
Exactly. When you get close to the scenario of I'm going to give this up, and then you go, wait a minute. I bet they'd give me $1 million. I mean, that's chump change.
Do you remember the episode of The League where Taco accidentally, he bought DallasCowboys.com?
Yeah.
And they flew them all to Dallas for training camp. He said, Taco, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm a businessman. I'm going to write you a check. Now get the hell out of my office. Bingo. That's exactly how this is going to go.
That's exactly how this goes. You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic slow. Future 26 westbound near Broadway Street. 26 eastbound slow approaching Brevard Road to the French Broad River. 26 westbound stop and go between Airport Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway. Near Avery Creek, Brevard Road north and southbound stop and go approaching Long Shoals Road. In Fletcher, Hendersonville Road northbound approaching Fanning Bridge Road is slow. Hendersonville Road northbound slows approaching Long Shoals Road. Sweeten Creek Road north and southbound approaching Mills Gap Road is slow. In Haywood County near Waynesville, US 74 eastbound stop and go between Hyatt Creek Road and Russ Avenue due to an earlier accident. I'm Lyndon Field with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Blue Ridge Health. At Blue Ridge Health, everyone deserves access to top-notch, compassionate health care, no matter their insurance or income status. Keep your family healthy with updated immunizations for COVID-19, flu, chickenpox, and shingles. Health care for all people, including you. Learn more at brchs.com.
In this week's Marketers Report, Patrizio Spagnoletto, Global Chief Marketing Officer, Direct-to-Consumer for Warner Brothers Discovery, weighs in on building trust.
Trust is a really hard thing to build and a really easy thing to destroy, and we have to be very respectful about that. Our partnership with iHeart has really helped us build that trust and that relationship with the on-air talent.
As the #1 audio company, iHeartMedia gives marketers access to the audiences, trusted influencers, and data you need to grow. If you're a marketer, go to iHeartResults.com.
Macy's Memorial Day sale has everything you need to bring summer to your wardrobe and home with great specials like 25 to 40% off on-trend women's swimsuits, 30 to 40% off shoes and handbags you need now, and 20 to 60% off outdoor dinnerware and furniture. Plus, Macy's Star Rewards members can earn rewards even faster during Star Money bonus days. See Macys.com/Star Rewards. Savings off sale and clearance prices. Exclusions apply.
Spring in the South means the return of Atlanta Braves baseball.
There's a liner out towards center field. It will lay down. Here comes Ronald. Braves win it.
The 2023 Braves load up for another huge season.
The Braves play here on ESPN Asheville.
Rogue Combat Club, Asheville's home for comprehensive martial arts training, has a goal for our community, one that's stronger, more fit, and unwavers in its support of one another. Rogue Combat Club's instructors have competed at the highest levels and offer classes for everyone from young children to adults in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Muay Thai, and wrestling. Rogue Combat Club classes can help you boost your self-confidence and self-defense skills while weeding out the egos and intimidation found at other gyms. Join today at RogueCombatClub.com.
Real estate isn't about properties, it's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt-Zach with eXp Realty, your native realtor serving all of Western North Carolina. I will work hard for you, and I believe in doing the right thing every time. I market each of my listings to reach out-of-town buyers. I use a professional photographer and drone video on every single listing, as well as collaborate with agents across the country to find your buyer. Check me out online at clarissasellswnc.com or give me a call at 828-774-6343. It would be my pleasure to assist you through the real estate process.
Did you know Ingalls only sells USDA Choice and Prime cuts of meat? Maybe it's time to reward yourself. Our butchers cut all our meat fresh in the store every day. Grass-fed, organic, you name it. Not only that, we'll even cut it to order just the way you like it. And we grind meat fresh in the store multiple times a day. It's all in the bag. That's the best meat in town for the best folks in town. Ingalls, low prices, love the savings.
The Sportsocracy.
We treat star athletes better because they're better people.
That's not fair!
Life isn't fair, kiddo. Get used to it.
You're back in the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville. Yes, the New York Jets are relevant to the NFL, and that makes us all hate life because Jeremy gets to talk about his 2024 Super Bowl champion New York Jets.
You said that with absolutely no emotion.
I tried.
You got to really, it comes from the diaphragm. Super Bowl champion New York Jets.
And you're on the lookout for a punter.
Well, they're not really.
Aren't you, though?
No. I mean, you gave Thomas Morstead $1.1 million guaranteed in the deal he signed, and he's a friend of the program. So I don't think that what happened today is going to change that. It might, solely because Matt Ariza is the best or is the most talented punter I've ever seen in my life.
The punt god was in for a workout for the New York Jets today. Obviously, I mean, I feel like we all should be familiar with the story. Matt Ariza was one of the big star rookies coming into last year, at least on this program he was. We talked way more about Matt Ariza than we did any other punter that I can ever remember in the history of time other than Pat McAfee.
Yes.
And then he gets released from the Buffalo Bills when a woman made the claim that she was raped by a gang of guys when they were in college at Arizona State.
San Diego State.
Or, excuse me, San Diego State. It came out, though, in court documents where the woman has now said that he was not even present when the alleged rape happened. So, now, second chance time for Matt Ariza. Is it worth it?
No doubt. At some point in our, and I mean, there's some people that will be upset about this.
Yes.
At some point in our judicial system, you have to be able to look at somebody and say, you were not charged. Because we live in an innocent until proven guilty society. Now, we act like it's guilty until proven innocent.
Absolutely.
From everything I have been told from anybody in the NFL, there is no proof this kid did anything wrong. No proof. As a matter of fact, there are some eyewitness accounts that say he was 5 miles away at the time that this actually happened. It's already cost him a year of his career. So you can like it or not, if the judicial system has gone through, this kid has been basically wiped clean of any wrongdoing, it is time for him to get back to his career.
Yes.
And I'll be honest with you, I'll say it out loud. My name's on the door. You want to get mad? I ain't hard to find. I hope it's with the Jets. It's the most talented punter I've ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
And it would not be the first time that somebody has lost years off their career because of the public narrative.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody's going to sign this kid. I have no doubt about that.
Absolutely.
I do not know that it's going to be the New York Jets.
Do we remember when we saw him on the field for the first time?
He was unbelievable.
They were playing the Indianapolis Colts in the preseason, and he kicked 183 yards. That's hard to do. A leg like that's hard to find. It's very rare that you can go into a draft and find the next Shane Leckler, a guy that is just going to be top of the line punter. And we get it. We talk all the time. Kickers aren't people, but still, somebody's going to give this kid a shot, and they should.
And I hope he has a 15-year career and everything is hunky dunky.
Mm-hmm.
That is my hope.
Mm-hmm. But it'll always be a footnote.
I fear
it'll always be a footnote.
Of course it will.
It's something
this is the way every one of these
involved in.
This is the way every one of these things go because people. I don't know if they have no faith in the judicial system. I don't know what it is, but it is. I cannot say this enough times. You are innocent until proven guilty. That is how our society works, and we have got to stop vilifying these people. First of all, you have no better of an idea than I do. You don't. You weren't there, so you want to get mad at me? More power to you. You get mad at the wall, too, for being beige. I don't really care.
Right.
We have entrusted people to do their job. This kid has been basically there's no fault here. And so it's time for him to get on about his life. It's time for him to get on about his career.
I fully agree. Hope the kid has a good career in the NFL, and maybe he will end up with your New York Jets. Jets. It is the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville. We'll be back with you tomorrow at 3 o'clock right here in the Ingalls studio.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Partly cloudy with light winds tonight and a low dropping to 51. After a sunny start to Thursday, there may be a shower thunderstorm moving in later in the afternoon with a high near 78 and a few more showers and storms for Thursday evening with an overnight low of 53. On Friday, expect sunshine and a high of 74. As far as the Memorial Day weekend, a few showers and thunderstorms may pop up on Saturday and Sunday. Otherwise, a mix of clouds and sun with highs in the low to mid 60s and scattered thunderstorms on Memorial Day with a high of 73. I'm Jeff Marr from the Weather Channel.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic is slow, 26 westbound between Airport Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway. Light delays 26 eastbound between Long Shoals Road and Airport Road. Near Avery Creek, Brevard Road north and southbound approaching Long Shoals Road is slow. Smoky Park Highway northbound approaching Sand Hill Road is slow. Sweeten Creek Road southbound delays between the Blue Ridge Parkway and Mills Gap Road. Checking the drive time from Biltmore Forest to Fletcher via Hendersonville Road southbound. Drive time 15 minutes. I'm Lyndon Fuel with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Wendy's $3 breakfast deal. Wendy's $3 breakfast deal is your choice of bacon or sausage, egg and Swiss croissant, plus a small seasoned potatoes for just $3. Break your morning routine and get your $3 breakfast deal today. Limited time only at participating U.S. Wendy's during breakfast hours.
At Ingalls, whether we're celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park, it's all in the bag. Ingalls, low prices, love the savings.
The Sportsocracy.
One thing that